What up, y'all?
Let me in. Let me in.
Fucking many of you. Probably gonna be like 3 more of you too. Holy shit.
Yeah, this will last 2 weeks.
Mhm.
Uh,
Oh, you're
yeah,
playing it now?
I've been trying to message you, Rick. I'm trying to get the.
He does not want to know about his car's extended warranty.
The white. The white.
Strong opening, everyone.
No, look.
Welcome to
All
week
right.
one.
Listen, you know this is indicative
Great
of how
opening.
things are gonna go today. I just want to let you know that, Cody. You just ruined my grand opening. No, I'm kidding. How you guys doing today? Hey, it is it's finally here.
We're gonna do the thing.
It's finally the time where we start to actually do the normal podcast thing that we normally do, right? So, with that being said, I just want everybody to know that no one was arrested on the way to this podcast today. PJ is just late.
He's
Okay.
driving, isn't he?
Well, he
That
is
doesn't
driving.
mean he doesn't have the chance to be to be arrested still.
No, there's 2 people in this world I know would be arrested for yelling at a cop to don't tap on my window. One is Tyreek Hill, and the other is definitely PJ.
Definitely PJ. 100%. Like, are you fucking kidding me? That's one thing. Who would do that? PJ would do that.
Don't tap my fucking window. Acknowledge me.
Oh, speak of the devil.
Speaking of the devil,
He didn't get arrested. He's here.
They're arresting me, Drew. They're arresting me. He's gonna call the podcast to do that.
Acknowledge me.
No.
You have to.
Don't you know who I am? Look, here's my title belt.
PJ, we're 7 minutes into the podcast and you made it. This is like a record for you.
Yeah.
That is pretty quick.
Dude, for
I
real.
show up when I want.
Oh, okay.
I guess you
So I
wanted to today.
I guess
Get outta here.
week one is a good day to start, huh?
Downhill from here, boys.
When you guys catch up to me in greatness, I'll accept all your measly comments.
Passed you 5 years ago, buddy.
For Ah, fuck! I love this podcast. All right, so
Acknowledge him.
we have a lot of fun
No.
news today. All right, and I think the top of the news in all of the sports world has
Sam
absolutely
Darnold.
fucking nothing to do with sports whatsoever.
Your tribal chief is undefeated in fantasy, all the leagues. That's the top news.
You know that 3/4 of the people that watch the show have no fucking clue who you are because you're never on this show.
Oh, they know who
Yeah,
I am.
seriously.
No, they don't.
They know he's the tribal chief.
Exactly. They know who their
Alright.
champion is.
They know,
All right, listen.
guys.
So, in the news today, Dolphin star Tyreek Hill was detained by Miami-Dade police after a traffic stop near Hard Rock Stadium had escalated.
Next.
Officers forcibly removed Hill from his vehicle and handcuffed him for around 20 minutes. The situation reportedly stemmed from a disagreement over Hill's compliance during the stop, with the police claiming he was initially uncooperative. Body cam footage of the incident was later released, sparking discussions about the officer's actions. One officer involved is placed on administrative leave pending further investigation. Calais Campbell and John New Smith also wound up in handcuffs when they were pulled over in a separate vehicle to find out what was going on with their teammate. The Miami Dolphins have released a statement supporting their players and describing the actions of the Miami PD as overly aggressive and violent while posing the question, what if this wasn't Tyreek Hill? This question was asked originally by Tyreek after their win on Sunday versus the Jaguars, a win in which Tyreek had caught an 80-yard pass and celebrated with Jalen Waddle reenacting being put in handcuffs. Coach Mike McDaniel stated on Monday that this situation has been hard for me not to get more upset about the more I think about it. All right, so that's pretty much, I could go further, but that's pretty much the gist of it. Tyreek Hill gets handcuffed at the outside of the stadium right before the fucking game. And now,
You know, I actually do have an answer to one of those questions. The question you posed was, what would have happened if he wasn't Tyreek Hill? And to that, I would say you'd be in jail 10 years ago for beating up a pregnant woman and breaking your son's arm.
Wait, is that what he did?
Coming out hot!
I was
Holy
just
shit!
gonna say this story's getting so much
Fire!
traction. The story's getting so much traction. As a guy who's from Florida, like that's just a Sunday to me.
This was a normal Florida man interaction.
That's like it's almost like every traffic stop that happens down here. Like
When I was living in
it's
Florida,
either the cop is being an asshole or
Yep.
or the person that's being pulled over is an asshole or both. It's just
I-
it's never.
I would see that every day on my commute when I lived in Florida.
I literally,
when
when I saw the video, I said the same shit. I think that was my first initial reaction. I'm like, this looks like a very normal South Florida traffic stop.
Well, the thing is, everyone's trying to make this whole thing about police brutality and all this crap, and everyone that because they don't live down here, they just don't get. They're off the mark. Like this wasn't police brutality or specifically that police overreacted. These were just some Cuban motherfuckers that had a Cuban ass moment. Monkey, you're fucking Cuban. You know how fucking Cuban fucking guys get sometimes. And the moment they knocked on that window and Tyree put that shit up, he did. Voy a joder este maricón, lo voy a joder. And the Cuban came out. And the Cuban came out and they fucked them up. And it's an overreaction. It's not because they're cops. It's because I'm telling you, man, they're Cuban. Y'all don't get it. If you don't live in South Florida, this interaction's not that crazy.
Look, before we move on to this, if I could just give any advice, because this is unsolicited fantasy advice. When a cop tells you to roll the window down, just fucking do it, bro. Just fucking roll your window down.
I am going to say this though, Tyreek Hill aside, because we could go all day on that. There's a bunch of people that said that was way too much, even for how Tyreek Hill was acting. But I do agree with Tyreek Hill was fucking asking for it. All right, so. Even
though there's no law that says you
just
have to keep your window down. There's no law.
But just do it.
Yeah,
And
no.
if we're talking in all seriousness, I've been pulled over before, and I've put my window up as soon as he's taken my
same
Are
ID.
you black?
But it's not just okay. But I'm saying it's not just because I
Yeah, remember, you guys are
to
white.
be an
Hot as
asshole.
fuck.
You guys are white, so none of your opinions matter.
I'm not.
Hold on.
That's actually profiling me just by the color of my skin because I'm
Yeah, exactly.
Hispanic.
Hell yeah. I'm literally thinking like a cop right now.
I'm
Yeah.
Colombian, brother.
When
the cops look at my ID, when the cops look at my ID and it says Hispanic, they treat me differently, brother.
Well, yeah, at least you have a moment, period, before they're like, oh, no, he's not fucking white. Fuck. Immediately they come up to my car and they're like, oh, look at this Negro right here.
The best advice
What
that
you doing, boy?
because I'm not a fan.
But that's what I'm saying. It's I'm sorry to
Go ahead.
but that's what I'm saying. It shouldn't be like that. He should be able to put his fucking window up. And then the guy's got his ID and everything. He stopped. He's putting the window up is in no way a threat to you. It's just like Charles said. It's the Cuban came out and he saw the window go up and he was like, "Nah, this motherfucker's not gonna put the window up on me."
Yeah.
He said, "No way."
Or what if the plot twist is really that the cop was just the Bills Mafia?
Yeah.
Could be. But no, listen. The thing with Tyreek and all that kind of. My best advice to that is if you have time, fine, make a point. If you have time, whatever. Bitch, not on the way to the game. All right, we don't have time for this shit. All right, just roll the round window down and shut the fuck up and take the ticket. We don't actually have time for this right now. But what I do have a problem with is the interactions with Calais Campbell and Jonnu Smith.
That was fucking dumb. I can come to the conclusion after reading everything and watch the video that almost everyone involved in this, besides Calais Campbell and Jonnu Smith, were absolute retards. Besides those two were just like, "Hey, what's going on?" They're like, "Right to jail." Immediately.
They were like that. It's like that one episode of Parks and Rec. The dude's just like straight to jail. You overcooked chicken, straight to jail.
Man, dude.
Do not pass
Like,
go. Do not collect $200.
Calais got out of his car. It was just like, what's going on? Give me your license right now. It's like, what the fuck, dude?
God damn, bro.
Imagine we lost half our roster there.
Yo, I would have been so pissed, dude.
Half the Miami Dolphins roster has been detained and arrested this morning.
You know, that theory of them being opposing fans is starting to, make sense.
I just like I remember watching that video and seeing like it's like 2 hours before game time, and there's fans walking behind Tyreek Hill, just looking over like what the fuck? Like why?
Like the one picture we showed, and the dude in the back just looks like he's looking on so mischievously, like he's like, what's going on here?
There was one video I saw. It was some guy like recorded his buddy fucking calling a bail bondsman.
Yo,
like, looking for Tyreek Hill, and when they couldn't find him, they were like, "Oh, I guess we're good. I guess he's gonna play." That's how they were checking his status, dude. Holy fuck! Okay, the Dolphins are fighting with their own police department over this. Like the entire organization has backed Tyreek Hill on this, which I mean, I guess
they should.
I understand.
They kind of have to. But timing is key, and timing is everything. And here's the problem that I have with timing. Now is not a great time to go picking fights with the police department that protects your stadium when the Bills fucking mafia is coming on a fucking Thursday night game. You know, like I've always been a believer of picking and choosing your battles, and I just do not believe that this is one of those, you know? But I've been wrong before, I guess. I don't really know how to read into that one. I just feel like
all right. That's
everybody
news story,
everybody in South Florida is a cunt. What if you look at this fucking video and you don't live in South Florida and you were just like, oh wow, that looks crazy? Just understand that is every normal fucking Tuesday down here. Basically. What if Tyreek Hill? What if, bro? It's like fucking everybody, bro. Like, whatever. Moving on. Let's get to Dak Prescott finally getting his fucking money. So, just hours before the opening game against Cleveland, Dak and the Cowboys finally reached a deal on a 4-year extension. This deal is for $240 million with $231 million guaranteed and an $80 million signing bonus. Dak says he hopes that after today he is done with talking about my pockets, and he also said, interestingly enough, that he doesn't play football for financial gain, which is crazy given he is the highest paid player and the highest paid player ever in the NFL. But hey, whatever helps you sleep at night, buddy. Like, all right, he got.
Bro was joking with people in a conference. Oh, maybe you should hold out too, like referring to like them getting paid a certain amount. He's like, oh, maybe y'all should hold out too to get paid more. Like, motherfucker, you definitely play. Like, not one player in the NFL can say that they don't fucking play for monetary gain. Like, come on now.
That's fucking crazy to me. Anyway, it's just a cute thing to say right after you make history.
Well, I guess it's like it's not his. I guess it is.
What else is he gonna say though? What else is he gonna say though? Is he gonna be like, "Yeah, you goddamn right. You better give me that fucking money. You better give me that fucking money."
I fleeced that fucking moron.
He's like, "You see that fucking weirdo? He just paid me so much money."
He's like, that motherfucking weirdo just paid me $250 million to lose the divisional round again.
So
thanks for going to the Super Bowl. Fucking weirdo.
The highest paid, and I want to double check this stat and be real fucking sure, because
the 10 highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL right now have 0 Super Bowls combined. Just food for thought right now.
The market took off crazy. And just like it just fucking it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Daniel Jones' contract.
You mean I can go become a quarterback, not win a Super Bowl, and win millions of dollars?
Yes.
So
they gave Daniel Jones 160, so fuck it. Why not you?
Right.
I don't think any of them. I don't think any of them has even. Well, most of them haven't even seen the Super Bowl.
Yeah, the top. Yeah, not fucking the top fucking 10. Not a Super Bowl among them.
A couple of have been like I know Jared Goff's in there. He's been to one. Joe Burrow's been to one. Didn't win. That's really about it.
Trash. Anyway, so any opinions on the Dak Prescott thing before we move on?
Most predictable thing of all time.
Yeah. All right. NFL is investigating another predictable news. NFL is investigating Deshaun Watson's latest lawsuit allegations. Yes, there is another. That would make what 25 we're at now.
I don't know.
Lawsuit filed on Monday accuses Deshaun Watson of sexual assault and battery in October 2020 while with the Texans. Commissioner exempt list is not in play as of yet. And if Watson is suspended this year, Browns may forfeit his guaranteed money because it is not protected by his contract.
Giggity.
So
The Browns are like, please.
Yeah, right. I think now they're praying. After last week, yeah, I think now they're fucking praying.
They're like, you know what? We are gonna let him molest. It's the only way out of this fucking.
I wouldn't be surprised if fucking Houston or if Cleveland snuck one in there. Just hey,
they set him up.
that's what I'm saying.
Well, what I hope happens is like they get out of the contract. Deshaun gets like a 6-game suspension or some bullshit, and then like I don't know, like the Vikings sign him or some shit, and then he goes off and just fucking becomes old school Deshaun Watson. That'd be the most Browns thing, the most Browns outcome, which is usually the correct outcome.
That would. That's usually. That's all. That would be on brand as fuck. Yeah, I agree. All right, guys. That's the news. That's the news. That's the weather. Let's get to the game of the week. Pick a game of the week, by the way, was fucking incredibly difficult because we had a lot of good games this week. So I left it up to a poll.
There was 2 options.
Yeah, exactly. Somehow
there was
the Jaguars.
There was 3 legitimate options, bro.
There was 2 options.
Let me explain that one to you because it's not just because I'm a Dolphins fan. Let me explain it to you. Let me just give you some like weight to it. All right. So let's look at the leading passers right now. Who's number 1?
Oh Lord, you're not gonna
Sam Darnold probably.
Oh, okay. So you're just gonna blatantly lie when you know it's Tua.
No, I didn't know it was Tua. I just guessed it was Sam Darnold.
338 yards. So I mean, the game had to be, and that's after the first week of football, right? And nobody else has that amount except or close to that amount except for Matthew Stafford at 317. So the game had to be something, if not nothing. I mean, it was a shitty game the first half for sure, but they had us in the first half, but. It wasn't like the worst game you've ever seen. There was shit leading into it, like fucking Tyreek got arrested. The fucking moments, like fucking an hour or 2 before the game, like it's not just because I'm a Dolphins fan. I promise you that.
The Dolphins played like
I've never done that before either. Voted on a game of the week just because it was the Dolphins. No, I'm not lying. I swear to God.
And the Jaguars shit the bed. That's the game summary.
I think
Stole the words out of my mouth.
Different. I think we'd be saying something different if Trevor Lawrence had the game that Tua had. I think some of the people in here would be like, some of the people would be in here like Tua sucks, fraud. Trevor Lawrence is great.
Don't worry, we'll get to it.
This guy forgot. This guy acts like last December didn't happen. That's my favorite about them.
Don't worry, we'll get.
I'm not acting like nothing. I know they're gonna listen. I'm a Dolphins fan through and through. I know what's in store for me. I know.
Okay. All right, just a reminder. It's still a long way away.
Do you though? Do you?
I do know what's in store for me. I know.
All right, so listen.
So game of the week, not Dolphins.
So listen, the game of the week after a very tight race was actually the Chiefs and the Ravens. So, Ravens 20, Chiefs 27. Baltimore loses by a toe to the Super Bowl champions in a barn burner. Baltimore's fantasy leader was Isaiah Likely with 26 points, 111 yards, and a touchdown. Dude played his ass off. Kansas City's fantasy leader was Xavier Worthy, 21 points, 47 yards, and a touchdown, and 21 yards and one touchdown rushing. Interestingly enough, Mark Andrews only had 3 points in fantasy. Sorry, guys. What? By a toe. By a toe. It's a game of inches, man. And I just want to say right now, there's a lot of calls that referees miss. All right, there is like 1,000. We had a whole touchception thing.
We can't know the game of football and not know that there's a holding on every call that's missed.
The season started with
this could easily have been like inaccurately called for Ravens, and only Kansas City would have bitched, and who cares, right? And it would have been the proper ending, and instead we got the ending like this, and it hurts. I mean, for everybody that's not cheap,
Really, I didn't really give a fuck.
The only thing that hurt me was my pick'ems. That's it.
I did. After you see a tight end coming back into the game after getting fucking wrecked the play before, like Matt Staffording it, and he's a tight end.
Okay. Yeah, but bro, what are you doing wearing black? What are you wearing black cleats for?
Shouldn't have big ass feet anyway.
What are you doing wearing black cleats, dog?
Everybody should be wearing white cleats from now on. I don't understand why we're not. You're right. You're right.
I don't know. I don't know if per se that's like necessarily going to change things.
Oh no, it will.
It will, but I'm saying
remembering 5 different plays where it was the same deal and the guy was wearing white shoes and they called it a catch.
But
listen,
I feel like it's like very situational and on the fucking
in a game with blind ass refs, and conclusive evidence, you wear white cleats.
That's why when you see cornerbacks out there, they always are wearing either white gloves or whatever color the other team's jersey is, so they can hold the shit out of other people without the refs calling it.
Sometimes, unless they're a fucking,
what?
Like a faction.
Say it.
So they're like,
say it.
Say what? Say what?
Say it.
What you
say
it. I didn't even know what I was going to say. I want you to say. I want you to say what I was going to say because I don't even know what I was going to say.
I don't fucking know what you were going to say, but serious.
Like, remember when OBJ wore the fucking the Joker gloves? I kind of meant like that when someone's like they want to wear something special that doesn't really go with.
Yeah, I guess.
With the colors, like I think there was a Jets player that was wearing fucking. That was wearing like fucking yellow, blue, and red fucking cleats last night.
What the fuck?
But it was for Rich Homie Quan, he said.
I remember.
But like that's a crazy color to see with green and white.
I had remembered thinking, man, who's going to stop this Ravens offense? Like, I'm going through all of the possibilities and coming up short. Like, after that first drive, I was like,
did they not look good? Did they not?
They looked so unstoppable. And then the Chiefs stopped them for like 2 quarters. Like, right after that. Like, right after I had that thought, Chiefs were like, wait, hold up. Timeout.
Well, they both did because, like, they both are teams that, like, didn't, and you'll see this throughout all the fucking games this weekend. Like, a lot of the teams that didn't, like, play a lot in the preseason, they had a bunch of dumb shit penalties. They had fucking people dropping the ball everywhere. Like, the Chiefs had a bunch of drops that, like, fucked them completely. Like, you had Juju Smith-Schuster dropping a touchdown, basically. I think it was Worthy.
That's on brand for him, though.
Worthy dropped a wide open touchdown pass, too. And then kind of the same thing with the Ravens. They had fucking brick hands. A lot of teams did it. And I don't know. I mean, I think both of the fucking offenses looked like some of the better offenses in the league. It's just week
I
one.
think for sure. Yeah, it's just week one jitters. I think they're gonna have. I think the Ravens are gonna have a great season. I think they're gonna look like. I think they're gonna end up having some games where they look like a complete team.
How about the Chiefs getting Tyreek Hill for a second time
No, we're not doing this.
on a rookie deal, dude?
I get it. Like, it's cool that he got 2 touchdowns, but one of them was a blown coverage, and the other one he had 6 blockers in front of him. So I wouldn't necessarily call him Tyreek Hill.
Super blown coverage, dude. Marlon Humphrey was like looking for him
Yeah.
on that play, bro. Like straight looking for him. I remember when that happened too, because Xavier fucking straight past him. He was sitting there on the other side, like. Anytime you see a cornerback doing this, nothing good is coming of that play for him. Fucking. I kind of agree with what you guys are saying about the week one and why preseason is so important. This kind of highlights why preseason is so important, by the way. But in the same sense, the Chiefs' defense being able to stop that RPO package and being as underrated as they are, kind of impressive. Because I didn't expect like the Chiefs secondary to come up. I thought, Chris Jones in the backfield, that's pretty normal. That's normal behavior for Chris Jones. But the secondary really pulled through for a lot of that game. It wasn't until like Isaiah Likely started playing off his ass that they really started getting tried. I don't know what
I don't know. I feel different about it. Like, man, the Chiefs defense did some good things, but at the end of the game, there were still, basically Lamar misses a wide open guy in the end zone, and then he throws a touchdown pass that's short by a toe. So I wouldn't necessarily look at that and say like, yeah, they fucking did a great job. Like, no, they got very lucky is what happened.
At the end, I agree. But
And that's why I'm saying I attribute that to like week one. I feel like in a couple weeks, same situation. Lamar's hitting flowers.
Yeah, exactly. But I think, I don't know. It's just out of all the teams though, these are 2 of the teams that look the cleanest in week one. Besides all the bullshit illegal formation calls, which I don't blame that on Baltimore at all. That was fucking dumb. And I think this will probably be your AFC Championship game at the end of it.
I will say this. I know you said you don't believe or you don't blame Baltimore. Yeah. The fact that he gets called play after play after play after play over it, and somebody like anybody, not just him, but like anybody just like doesn't shove his ass up 1 foot. That like at some point.
Yeah. But like they called it 25 times this weekend. I saw that earlier. So it wasn't just him they did it to.
It was just him taking it over and over again. And I was just like, bro, fucking come on. Get it together.
What's crazy is they still scored on that drive.
They did.
That was wild. Yeah, they still scored a touchdown.
I don't know. PJ, how you feeling about your Chiefs, bro?
They're amazing. They're Super Bowl champs again this year, 3-peat in a row. First team to do it, because fuck all your other teams. They look great. No, on a serious note, I mean, the pickup of Xavier Worthy and Rice not going to fucking jail or being suspended worked wonders for them. They dropped the bad weight, Kadarius Toney. He's on a practice squad somewhere.
Cleveland.
No, he's in
fucking
Cleveland.
Hilarious. Guy's a fucking dumpster fire. But the Chiefs upgraded where they needed to. They have a good coaching staff. Win or lose halfway through the season, expect them to make the playoffs and to be dangerous in the playoffs. It's like they never left.
I'd say that about both these teams. Like, I didn't come out that game with like, oh man, this team's gonna suck or they're overrated. I'm like, yeah, both these teams are gonna be really fucking good. And I feel like some of the things that they struggled on offensively for both teams was just because they were playing another really good team. And you'll see them play regular teams soon, and they're gonna beat the fucking brakes off them.
Yeah,
I actually disagree. I think Baltimore stepped back defensively and offensively. I don't know what it is with Lamar, but it's anytime he plays any kind of top 3 quarterback, he just shivers into his shell and just
he tries to do
overthinks
too
his
much.
throws.
He gets to, like, he feels like he has to make every play the big play.
I want to not agree with that so bad, but the missed throw at the end where he fucking threw Flowers behind him.
Yeah.
Like that.
But some of that's on Flowers too, because you could tell he was expecting Flowers to stop, and because he was in the soft spot in the zone, and the receiver typically will just squat because you're in the end zone. There's not many more places to go, so it's a miscommunication thing. I don't know. I'm not compared to some of the other teams we're going to talk about. These are some of the teams I'm not worried about. There's some real dumpster fires going on right now with teams that we thought were going to be really good.
Oh, let's talk about one of them. Well, actually, I don't know how much of a dumpster fire it is. It depends on how long this injury is. But let's get to Green Bay Packers 29 and Philadelphia Eagles 34, and a game in Brazil on a Friday night, completely out of everybody's comfort zone.
Streaming on
Hey guys, we're playing on a soccer field.
Bro, that field was so bad. Why does the NFL keep doing this shit? Let's send our teams to these weird fucking countries. Or not weird countries, but you know what I mean. And with zero preparation.
What was the funniest thing about it? Do you guys know what the color of Brazil's rival team is?
Green.
And what does the NFL do?
Send
the two greenest fucking teams they can down there to play.
Yeah, they had to change their uniforms, which is crazy. And man, it's just like I hate that shit because, like, man, you talk about I get they lost the game, but man, Jordan Love looked so fucking good in that game despite them losing. And like because it was like clearly an injury because of the shit field they were playing on. So it's like just because we wanted to have a couple more Brazilians watching football, Jordan Love is out for the next 4 to 6 weeks.
I mean, not only that, I mean, Saquon Barkley eating shit.
Dude, everyone was eating shit. There was a slip and slide out there, bro. That shit was crazy.
Saquon gets the ball. He's on the ground.
That field was horrible.
It's a soccer field, like, you know.
Horrible.
Well, what was impressive though was like
came back from Sports Authority in Brazil. Here's new cleats for you guys. Go put these on.
Like considering how shit the field was, like how many big plays there were in that game is like a sign for both of these teams. Like, I think Philly has a lot of problems on defense. They have a lot of problems on defense, but their offense is, I think, gonna hold weight through the regular season. We'll see about the playoffs, but and then Green Bay. I mean, fuck, both sides of the ball look awesome, but now it's like, man, you got to survive the next 4 weeks and hopefully win a game or two. And if you don't, and you lose all these fucking games, like, luckily enough, I don't think their division outside of Detroit is very good. So, I mean, they'll probably make a wild card worst case scenario, and that's if Jordan Love is still like playing well when he gets back, which who knows.
So
the wild card was probably also the best case scenario.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing that we're on this game first, because I totally forgot that you have an injury list for me. So since we've touched Jordan Love, what's the rest of that injury list, real quick?
Let me pull back up. So I mean, and this is a part of it, man. These teams, and it's all teams that didn't play in, like a lot of players that didn't play in the preseason, and then just got fucking.
While he's doing that, the fantasy player of the game was Saquon Barkley, 33 points, 109 yards, and 2 touchdowns, 23 yards and 1 touchdown receiving.
What a nightmare weekend to be a Giants fan.
Barkley had a career day as a Philadelphia Eagle in his day.
You're gonna have to spell G-men with the lowercase g.
Can't wait to get to that game.
Oh my god, sorry, it's fucking. Oh god, I have to fucking type it up again. Sorry.
Good, it's all good. That list is fucking brutal.
Who is the backup in Green Bay?
Malik Willis, he's garbage.
Yeah.
Who?
Exactly, dude. He was the guy. You remember he was playing when Will Levis got drafted. He played for the first 5 games for the Titans, and he was so fucking bad that they had to put Will Levis in. It was him.
Oh my!
All right, I got it. So Jordan Love, we just talked about. Big ones were David Njoku. He injured his ankle. They think he might have a high ankle sprain, so that's a couple weeks. If that's true, that sucks. Puka Nacua is going to IR. Keenan Allen is already hurt too. Surprise, surprise. See, Jordan Addison got hurt, but they don't think it's as bad as it looked. He hurt his ankle, but he should play. Jake Ferguson, the tight end for the Cowboys, is week to week with a knee injury. He sprained his MCL. Kenneth Walker III, the running back for the Seahawks, he has an abdominal injury. He's questionable for next week. Ty Johnson, defensive back for the Lions, had a knee injury. Couple other things. Josh Allen hurt his left hand, which he's a quarterback. He's right-handed, so who cares? T. Higgins didn't play last week because of a hamstring injury. He's probably not going to play again this week. And then the big one was randomly an hour before Monday Night Football, Christian McCaffrey gets ruled out, and they're saying that he is very questionable for week 2.
That one is Achilles tendonitis.
Brutal.
That's a fucking terrible thing for a running back.
Yep, I know that pain. I got that.
Can we talk about
so
the timetable on that and how it came out after the game, and he is the player's being that player's name. He's being interviewed, and they're asking him,
yeah,
when did you know? And he says, about Friday night, probably Friday. And then Shanahan turns around and says, I never told him that he was going to start.
They're going to be investigating that team for injury report fucking. Anyway, so going back to the Green Bay game. Now that we know what we know about Love, and it's probably going to be 4 weeks, give or take. I think in that 4 weeks they're going to be playing. I want to make sure that I get this right. Yeah, they got the Colts, the Titans, the Packers, and the Rams.
How are they playing the Packers? They are the Packers.
Or the Vikings and the Rams, excuse me.
Oh, that's fucking brutal.
Yeah. All of those teams can beat them.
Yeah. I think the one they'll have the most luck with is probably Tennessee, maybe. They look kind of bad. But fuck, dude. You're fucked.
That's a brutality. On the other side of the ball, Philly looks fucking great.
Yeah, everything but their defensive backs. I mean, on defense, their front seven's fucking awesome still, but man, they can't cover for shit.
But as long as Jalen Hurts can fucking outscore you, which seems to be a working strategy.
It was Saquon too.
Saquon. Yeah, so I'm gonna say Saquon looks like a nice piece to that puzzle.
Man, I called that shit. I was like, man, because I sent some pictures of the chat of some of the fucking holes they were making for him, dude. And he's got no one within 10 feet of him. There's no one there. And Green Bay's got a good front, so it's not like they were pushing around a bunch of bums. So
when you got a guy like Jalen Hurts as your quarterback, the defense is like, okay, which one's gonna run?
Yep.
Who's taking it?
I think there's a serious chance, given health and injuries and all that, but I think there's a really good chance we're looking at Saquon's the best running back in fantasy this year.
I would back that, especially with C-Mac out now.
Yep.
Steelers 8 or anybody else on this game? PJ, you got any on it?
No. Eagles and Packers both suck.
Okay,
That's
Charles,
fair.
how's the debate going?
I don't know. Actually, I've been listening to you guys. I can't. I'll catch up later. But
Beautiful.
yeah, double game, Brazil, all that good stuff. Soccer, bad field, death. You know.
Enjoy our 2 NFL teams that are the color of your rivals.
Yes. I also, just side note, I love that our first impression of the NFL to Brazil is we sent Philly fans. So good job.
Oh man.
They fit right in though.
Yeah, you know what?
Like,
Yeah.
They only did it
Philly
because
fans
Jason
are like
Kelsey
a
started wearing
speck
luchador
and
masks.
crazy compared to Brazilians.
That's true. Actually, they probably fit in, you know?
You know, another person that had a really good game that, you know, we haven't talked about yet, Jaden Reed had a
Yeah.
fucking awesome game.
Yeah. Man, he's special. That receiving core is really underrated, man. Like he's a big play guy. And they got Dobbs, who's like really solid possession guy, and then they got Watson, who's another fucking like crazy explosive receiver. Jordan Love's got a huge arm, so it's tough. And then I liked Josh Jacobs too. I was impressed. I wasn't really that high on him coming into the season, but it looks definitely like they upgraded from Aaron Jones. Sucks that AJ Dillon got hurt already, but that's great news if he drafted Josh, because it looks like he's going to get a lot of work.
So, Steelers 18 and Falcons 10.
Wow.
This is the dumbest game of the week right here.
Kirk throws 2 picks in the debut versus the Steelers. Fantasy player of the game is Justin Fields with 12 points, a whopping 12 points.
No, what did the kicker do? The kicker probably had like 20 points.
I can double check that just to be sure.
Because that was the only points they scored.
Yeah,
with
he had
goal.
20.
What
He
the
had
fuck?
26 points. I know because I went up against some guy named Tony and he almost beat me.
Like they beat an NFL team won by only kicking field goals this week. That's how fucking
Yeah, they
terrible
didn't get a
Kirk
touchdown.
Cousins was.
Actually, I was wrong.
Kickers are people too, monkey. What the fuck? This
No.
program is
It is not the kicker.
Is it the defense?
Wait. I'm looking at the wrong game. We're looking at the wrong game here.
Get it together.
Get it together.
Not
Not
the
the-
man, bro.
Not the preseason anymore.
Falcons Steelers. Actually, yeah, I was super wrong. I was looking at the wrong. Yeah, it's no. I'm right. It's Justin Fields.
No
So
way.
the kickers.
No way.
The kickers. Wait, the fuck?
There's no way.
No, you're right. You're right.
For the Steelers.
You're right. I have him fucking hidden over here.
Please hold
Ah,
on.
kickers are people too.
Boswell got 26 fucking points on
6 field goals.
6 field goals, with 3 of them coming at past the 50. So that's your fantasy player of the game.
So I was doing like my normal Sunday thing when my team's playing in the early window. I got my team on one TV, and then on my laptop I got Red Zone going just to like watch everything, And I saw kind of what was happening in Atlanta, and I was like, "What the fuck? Let me like watch this game for a little bit." And I turned to that game, and I think Kirk, after his fucking injury, is cooked, because that is the least amount I've seen a quarterback move. It wasn't his arm. He literally would not move in the pocket. He took the snap and would take like a baby step, if that. And then he was just standing there all fucking game. So I think we got about 4 weeks of this, and then we'll get Michael Penix.
Other than Kyle Pitts being in the end zone for the first time in ages, I don't know anything positive that happened here. Every time I saw Kirk, I screamed after fucking watching him throw like the worst interceptions I've ever seen him throw in my life.
Well, we finally got to see Bijan a little bit.
Yeah, but it's just like
Boswell's an MVP.
Kirk is like affecting the offense at such a radical level that he's like fucking up everything fantasy relevant on that team. And like this is one of those rare games where like
Drake
even
London did nothing.
Yeah, like even the team that won is like, oh, we're fucked. Like, because the Falcons' defense is like good. I wouldn't say they're like a top 5 defense, but they're good, and they couldn't score at all. They're saying that Justin Fields is going to start again next week. So, I mean, I wouldn't be very positive if I was a Steelers fan. Like, I don't know. I don't. I think until
The only
they.
thing positive about the Steelers is Tomlin, and Tomlin's always going to end up with a winning season one way or another.
I mean, yeah, but like, what's the cost of like if it's only 8 and 9 wins every year? Like, at some point, you have to get better, and they're never getting better. And like, at some point, the coach's message is stale, and you just have to move on. And not that he's a bad coach; it's just like it's time to try something different. He's been there for like 15 years. I mean,
Yeah.
I might be overreacting because it's week 1, but like, still, I mean,
to a degree you are, but to a degree you're not, because again, like you said, he's been there for 15 years. You know, like you'd expect a little more surefire out of that team by now. You know, I get like some of those pieces that used to be there 10 years ago aren't there anymore, but you're past the amount of years that goes by for a rebuild stage. Like, you should have been rebuilt by this point. You should be at a point where this team is firing a little more, and it's not.
And it's not like they're like one of those teams that's like inept at drafting. Like, they draft, of course, like great defensive players. They always hit on receiver. They have good running backs. The offensive line's always solid. Like, there's no like what like that's fireable to me to like be able to generate talent like that. And then your plan going into the year for quarterback is reclamation projects of Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. Like, there was better options out there.
So we should hear from our resident Falcons fan. PJ, how you doing, buddy? What'd you think about this game?
I didn't even watch this game.
You didn't miss anything.
Stop lying.
No, I'm serious. I didn't. I worked all day.
That is true.
You know what?
He was saying that in the chat.
You know what's terrible?
The Falcons.
What I said was right. People were like, "Oh, they got Kirk Cousins." I'm like, I'm a Chiefs fan, 100% now.
I will give them this though. I was giving them shit about taking Michael Penix Jr.
100% now,
but now,
right? I was gonna say, I hope I wasn't the only one who just caught that.
Yeah, now it's like they're looking pretty smart because I mean it's still dumb. They got a bunch of dead money because of him.
I don't know why I picked the Falcons either. I don't know why I did that.
I mean, I was just already so down on the Steelers.
Bro.
I was so down on the Steelers too.
Because you're a fucking homer, PJ.
I think the Steelers have Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. Nah, they're gonna be dog shit. And then I forgot TJ Watt is a thing on defense.
And you still weren't wrong. They were dog shit. They only kicked field goals in one NFL game. Like we lost in many ways in that pick.
I think both teams are gonna suck. The Steelers, they're not winning their division. Atlanta, they're in a shitty division, so they might win it on pure just shitness.
If they have the balls to, because you still have to give Kirk another 2 or 3 weeks, I think, just because of how much money you paid him. But like, if they have the balls to pull the plug on that and put the rookie in, I think they could salvage it just to how shit the division is.
That's fair. It doesn't help that they play the Eagles and then the Chiefs next.
Actually, that does help because if you want to get Kirk Cousins the fuck out of there, he's definitely going to look bad in those games. So, hey, Mr. Penis, time to stand up. Get your blood moving down there, get hard.
Cardinals 28, Bills 34.
What?
Josh Allen scores 4 touchdowns and rallies Bills past the Cardinals. They came down, I think they were 17-3. The Cardinals enjoyed that lead.
I was going to say, what a great game that was for the beginning of the game.
Dude, that game was electric. That was like there was like better overall games, but like as far as entertainment value, the game was fucking electric. And I think a lot of people, including the Bills, overlook the Cardinals because like no one talks about them. But like I'm not saying they're like gonna win the Super Bowl or nothing, but like they're a good fucking team with Kyler Murray. I don't understand why people shit on Kyler that hard. Like he's still a really good quarterback.
They're gonna win. Man, they're gonna win like 8, 9 games this season.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that has my touchdown of the week in that game from Buffalo when Khalil Shakir rolled off the fucking defender.
Yeah, that was nasty. We finally got to see a kick return too with a new kickoff. That was pretty cool.
And when they get Harrison rolling.
Yeah, I mean, that was weird.
Seen the play. I seen the play where he was wide open.
Yeah,
I seen it. So to me, I know that later on in the year, that's going to be a connection.
And, 100%.
A highlight.
Then on the other side, the Bills' defense, man, we all kind of saw this coming because we're in the division, but man, they got some problems in the back end.
Oh yeah.
And then offensively, it's like so. I guess is the plan is the same as it's always been. Is that we need Josh Allen to be Superman?
Yeah,
I'm sure that'll work at the end of the year.
Yeah, so it's same old fucking Bills, which I mean it's like good ass regular season again, and then Josh just gonna be banged the fuck up. They gotta figure that out somehow. I mean, James Cook is such a good running back. Like I just don't understand why they don't even attempt to run him at the goal line. They don't even try it. They're just like, all right, Josh, run it in every fucking time.
Because he doesn't want to be a part of the all snack bar.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So, Josh Allen, 31 points, 18 for 23, 232 yards, and 2 touchdowns. 39 yards and 2 touchdowns rushing is the fantasy player of the game in this one. PJ, how do you feel about the Bills right now?
Say that one more time.
How do you feel about the Bills right now?
They look the same as they did last year. Just they don't have Steve. It's really just Josh Allen. I'll give him credit. Josh Allen did his thing. So, I mean, if he can play like that every single game, they can win the division. But the thing that sucks is that Aaron Rodgers is healthy now.
Well, and they do have one thing. Like I did like. I went back and watched some clips. I did like what I saw out of their pick, Keon Coleman. So they can hope that I wouldn't rely on it, but like they have a hope that he ends up being pretty good. He looked pretty good. I think he had like 5 catches, and they're all pretty impressive. So
they also need to stay healthy.
Yeah, they already had a big injury before the season even started, losing Milano. The biggest thing because they'll figure it out with Josh on offense, but like man, they gotta figure it out in the back end, man. Those safeties were biting on everything. Kyler had a fucking day. And they're going to play some way tougher passing attacks being in the AFC.
Yeah, so one thing, we saw a lot of things, okay? First off, we saw Josh Allen get in the end zone 4 times. We saw Khalil Shakir get in the end zone. We saw fucking Kyler Murray slinging it around. We saw even Connor got into this game. Anybody seen Marvin Harrison Jr.? Do we know where he is?
I mean, I think they're kind of working him into it. He had 1 catch. He got wide the fuck open down. He would have had a game-breaking play. The rush just came a little too hard on Kyler. He didn't see it. Shit happens.
Yeah, it would have been a touchdown. 100%.
Yeah, but I'm still hopeful. I'm not in the case of judging rookies on week 1. Welcome to the NFL. Do better.
Yeah.
Their offensive coordinator came out and said that's like probably at the forefront of their scheme is trying to get him involved.
And to your point, by the way, with how Keon, because I saw the 50-50 ball Keon got,
impressive,
like right at the goal line. I guess when you can't get separation, you got to be good at that.
Yeah, but I think that's what his role is. His role in the offense is going to be how Josh Allen plays. So it's a good fit. Josh is running around. It's the thing that fucking makes us hate Josh Allen. You think you got him dead to fucking rights. He scrambles to his right, and he throws a piss missile right before he goes out of bounds for 30 yards to a dude who's in single or double coverage, who's plastered, and the dude still comes down with it. It's Josh Allen football. He's a good fit for Josh Allen football.
Yeah, you're good about that. You are right about that. He didn't look too fucking bad. I just hate his separation. That's really nice.
Yeah, he'll never be a separator guy. He's a low red zone. I'm big as fuck. I'm gonna moss you guy.
So let's get into some tragedy. Titans 17 and Chicago Bears 20.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of a game where both teams should feel like they lost,
Bears defense gets Caleb through the rough debut, but it was a rough debut. So the fantasy player of the game, well, I should say players of the game, were Chicago Bears' defense with 25 points. They had 2 sacks, 1 forced fumble and recovery, 2 interceptions, and one of those was for a touchdown. So
Who'd have thought?
Thank God for the Bears D, right? Because this could have been like other than that.
I mean, Will Levis just gave them the game. But that's what this game comes down. Will Levis is going to his knees, and he doesn't throw the ball forward. He just kind of flips it. It just on a prayer, just flips the ball out there, lollipop style.
Flipping on a prayer.
Yeah, and he just throws a pick six or flips a pick six, I should say.
By the way, the special teams also scored in that. They had a punt block.
Yep, they did. And also Bayless Jones, their fucking shitty returner, who's I don't understand why they still start him, muffed another kickoff. So
yeah, I saw that. Shit was trash.
Yeah, that was so it literally bounced off of him and flew forward just right at the Titans, and they recovered it. So I don't know. I mean, the big thing with the Bears is Caleb, and there's a lot of fucking me saying I was right this week, I guess, but that Pac-12 bullshit ain't gonna fly in the NFL, bro. You can't just be running around all day. You got to throw the ball.
That for sure.
And his accuracy's dog shit, man. It was at USC too. He was a 50% passer at USC, and I think he was at 48 this game. It's you got to tighten that up, man. The men's league.
It's if it wasn't for Will Levis just completely giving this game away, bro.
Yep.
Because I don't think that they deserved this one, truthfully. No. I mean, I understand the defense really came through, but trash win.
And it's not even the defense really came through. They were down 17-0, and Will Levis just gave them a gift.
What I will say, Caleb Williams looked exactly as I expected him to look for Chicago Bears first round quarterback.
Yep.
So, if you were asking if I'm shocked, fuck no. Other than that, I mean, hey, PJ, how'd you feel about Caleb, bro?
You guys are a little mean. It's just game one. Let them get into it. Not everybody's going to be. I mean, let's take a look back at.
I would say at least he won his first game. Yeah, it wasn't distributed to him, but
we all tend to forget Trevor Lawrence's first year.
Oh, well, I wasn't saying he's going to suck completely forever. It's just I pointed out the things that I thought were wrong, and he had to fix, and he still has to fix them.
He has upside, and he can fix it. It's just, it's the NFL. This is where you learn. And
I think today was a big part, or Sunday was a big part of that. He tried doing that Pac-12 bullshit, and he quickly realized, oh, shit, I can't do Pac-12 bullshit.
Yeah, it doesn't work here.
Charles, how did you feel about it? Sandman.
He's too busy. He's balls deep in the debate.
It's getting good in there, isn't it?
Getting spicy,
It's
I
getting
guess.
spicy
Who
in
fucking
there.
cares?
I'll be right back, boys.
Oh shit! It got spicy.
That's
All right.
spicy.
Yeah. So all right. So let's move on. Let's get to New England Patriots 16 at Cincinnati Bengals 10.
They need to fire their coach. Fire their coach immediately.
Bengals season opener get booed out of the building. Fantasy player of the game is Ramondre Stevenson with 22 points, 120 yards, 1 touchdown, and 6 yards receiving.
Let's go, Ramondre.
Go ahead, Brenda. Yeah, you go ahead.
Zach Taylor got fucking completely outcoached. That he should be so fucking embarrassed, dude. Like, so you're in a low-scoring rock fight game, which is like the summary of the game. There's not too much to say about it. It's just old school game because you're playing New England. That's what they want to do. And you get into the late third quarter and then into the fourth quarter too, where New England has 6 offensive linemen on the field. They got an extra tackle. And the Bengals are basically playing goal line. They got no one deep, and you still can't stop the run.
We got to a point in that game where the Cincinnati Bengals were the only team in the first window Sunday afternoon without a score. Round of applause, please.
Yes. Yes.
And I guess the other big headline is because like the shit with Jamar Chase and the holdout and the contract. Bro, you can't do all that bullshit, all this holding out bullshit, and then get sunned in your first game. Christian Gonzalez had him in hell for 45 minutes straight.
He had a couple of catches, and that was it, I think.
He did, and the ones that he did, they like schemed him open, got him on a linebacker in zone coverage and that kind of shit.
I'm always open.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you're not always fucking open today, bro. New England looked pretty fucking impressive. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I was shocked, to be honest. I had low expectations for the team. My main concern was like, how is the coaching going to be? Are they going to be like disciplined? Are they going to be conditioned? All that shit, with the new coach. And
this game really opened my eyes to me being such a shitty pick'em person in week 1 and focusing on just strictly fantasy players. Because I knew for a fact the Patriots were going to win this game. Zach Moore is 1-11 in all first week 1 games. Isn't that crazy?
Dude, and that's like a culture problem, man. Like they got some sort of you got to look at your training camp and preseason mentality.
You're not ready to fucking play football on week 1?
Yeah.
Come on.
And to lose in the way you did, it's not like, Patrick Mahomes came in there and lit you the fuck up. Like, you literally just couldn't stop the run.
No, dude, the Bengals line were actively allowing Burrow to get killed.
Actually, not really, man. I mean, they had 3 sacks in the first quarter and a half. Then after that, they kind of realized no one's getting open on us. Like, we're just gonna rush 4 and play man, beat us, and they couldn't.
They did everything to bungle that game, dude. They did 2 fumbles literally for no reason. None. Because you can't hold the ball. That at all.
Discipline.
No, yeah, you're right. It really does come down to a fucking culture thing. Because what I saw was a team not ready to play football. Like they just were not sharp. They weren't fucking. I know they got it to. I guess because they didn't get the pressure, but they weren't fucking blocking when they needed to block. They couldn't fucking. For whatever reason, Joe Burrow was taking on 3rd and fucking 4th down. Fucking the option short of the goal or the short of the sticks. Don't understand that because that's not Joe Burrow football.
Yes and no. Like that was one of the best plays I've seen. From was Jonathan Jones that made that play. That's the best play I've ever seen him make. I watched him his whole career. He was playing deep safety, 10 yards, 15 yards away from where that catch happens. They throw a little screen on 4th and 1, and it looks like it's a slam dunk when it comes out of Burrow's hand. And I don't understand how he covered the ground that fast and just absolutely bodied a guy. And he's like a short dude, man. He's like 5'8" and like doesn't weigh shit, and just bodied this dude. It was their defense is impressive. It's extremely impressive. I was worried with Bill leaving how the defense was going to be, but
I got some heat for whatever reason. I didn't think that defense was going to fall off too hard.
Well, I know they had good players. It was the coaching I was worried about because DeMarcus Covington's like been a position coach there for a while, so he knew the scheme. But like, can you call the plays right? Good timing, all that shit. You know, and he did, man. They had Burrow out there seeing ghosts. He looked shook.
He did. I think T. Higgins not playing this game was a big factor.
Yeah, huge.
Especially with Jamar Chase getting locked down the way he was.
Yep. Oh, man. New England looks good. I mean, I'm not so sure about Jacoby under center, but, you know.
I think, you know, you really only have to deal – you're going to see about 5-6 weeks at most to him, you know. They're just getting the kid ready.
Throw Drake in.
Yeah. My opinion's still unchanged. They're like a fucking somewhere between a 6 to 8 win team.
I mean, we got young players on that offense too, so you know it's a little
promising. Yeah, I mean a lot of people were getting open downfield. It's just Jacoby's Jacoby, and he don't throw the ball downfield. He don't do that shit. So
yeah, because I mean they got Demario Douglas. I know Bourne is still on IR.
Yeah, Bourne, and then Polk and Thornton were open all day downfield, and Jacoby's just. Yeah, the most conservative quarterback of all fucking time. So he didn't lose them the game, I guess. You know, he didn't do anything dumb. That's all they really asked of him. So fuck it.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna keep my eye on Polk though. I see good things on that kid's future.
Yeah, he looked nice. Fantasy wise too, I think, especially when Drake gets in there, he'll be real nice. And some people in your leagues, he was probably available. I know our league, he got taken in like the last round or something, but.
In Dynasty, I took him.
So here's a nice game. It was a sneaky nice game. This could have been game of the week too. Houston Texans 29 and Indianapolis Colts 27.
The game was crazy.
Yep.
Diggs and Mixon look fucking awesome with their new team. Lead Texans past the Colts. Fantasy player of the game is Joe Mixon with 27 points, 159 yards, 1 touchdown, 19 yards received. However,
crazy.
A concession must be made that Anthony Richardson also scored 27 points.
Yep.
9 for 19, 212 yards, 2 touchdowns, 56 yards on the ground with 1 touchdown rushing. Stephon Diggs also had 22 points in this game, 33 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 6 yards rushing. So Diggs owners got to eat too, and Diggs really went late in drafts this year.
Yeah,
yep.
Because of the existence of Nico Collins and the uncertainty of how that was going to work out.
I still think there's going to be some issues for fantasy owners with the Texans on that. I mean, you're talking about they got Tank Dell, Nico Collins, and Diggs out there in the receiving core. I can totally see that this bouncing each week on who's going to be top receiver each game.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, but I think that CJ reminds me of Tom Brady in one way. He's
a quarterback.
Tom always in some way made sure that each and every one of his receivers and his available targets got a touch.
Yeah.
No matter what. CJ Stroud seems to be of that line of thinking where he's trying to get not just one receiver going, all the receivers going. He wants the running backs going. He's looking to get his entire offense on fire. And that kind of bodes well for Stephon Diggs because all you have to do is give him opportunities. We know Diggs' ability to catch and yak it up. Like we've seen him in Buffalo and we've seen him in Minnesota. Right. Like we know Diggs, all he needs to do is get a catch. So with with Caleb being so free to distribute, the ball to everybody, that bodes a lot better in Diggs' pocket than before week 1, where we thought maybe Caleb turns into a Nico Collins merchant after the season he had last year. But
I do have to ask the question: what are defenses really going to do against that offensive fucking unit?
Play cover 2.
Secondaries are going to be tried, dude. Because yes, they can play cover 2, but then you got Joe Mixon that can also ball.
Yeah,
and I would choose
so
that.
Fucking spread.
That's the choice you have to make with them. It's either are you going to cover deep or are you going to play the run, and I'm playing the run. I mean, I'm covering deep rather. I'll take my chances.
I think it's really going to more come down to just how well Stroud's going to be able to read defenses and make calls.
I think he'll be fine with that. But what impressed me, did you guys see that fucking play Richardson make, fucking going backwards off his back foot? Dude, that was the craziest throw I've seen in years. And that's not even exaggeration. To be on your back foot and just hit a guy in stride.
Slipping at first, okay, so he's coming out of the snap and he slips. That shit was crazy.
Yeah, I'm the high on him. He's one of those players that has such a unique, crazy ability, but he fucks up all the little things, which you can coach that. I'd rather have that than the inverse of that problem. So it's just, man. That again, same thing. They have the same problems the Texans offense gives you. So do the Colts, because they got some deep play threats and a good running back too. So same problems there.
The quarterback play in this game was top level, in my opinion. That they had.
I honestly didn't know. I never really there was a couple plays probably in Florida that made kind of like that, but I didn't know he had arm.
That was crazy.
Fucking 60 yards.
I haven't seen
in stride, the dude.
The only guy I've seen do that before was Cam, early years Cam Newton.
Richardson's bomb to Pugh early in the game was beautiful. He fucking unloaded that bitch. I think that's the first time I've seen Richardson unload the fucking ball like that in the NFL. And then dude followed up. I think the series later, Nico Collins caught a fucking giant bomb from Stroud. This was a really good. If you were looking for quarterback play, this was the game. Mixon looked good today. The Diggs caught 2 touchdowns. They had a punt block in this game. Who was it? The Colts had a punt block, right?
Yeah. That was fucking crazy too. Mixon's running for 140 something yards. He's got no gloves on either. What a psychopath move. It's fucking awesome.
I gotta say, if Mixon keeps playing at that level, it's gonna put him up in the conversation with Saquon for top running back of the year. You're not gonna be able to deny him if he's putting up 150 yards a game.
I would like to see it more consistently. Before I give him.
But that's what I'm saying. If it happens more consistently, he's gonna be in that talk. I mean, give us 2 or 3 more fucking 150-yard games, and it's.
But again, so this goes back almost. This is almost the exact same thing as Saquon Barkley, where he's going from a line that cannot fucking block to a line that can open 20-foot holes. It's because the Colts offensive line is probably one of the best in the game.
Yeah.
And that's not just for passing, dude. They've been opening holes for Jonathan Taylor fucking a long time. But to see the Texans match that, because you were seeing it on both sides of the ball. They were matching. If you go back on the plays where Jonathan Taylor's running through gaps, and the gaps are fucking yay wide, and then you go into the next series and you see Houston and Mixon's runs, they're the same fucking gap. So it's the same thing with Saquon Barkley leaving the the Giants and their shit line. The Texans line and the Cincinnati line, they're so very, very different. And it's going to bode well for Mixon if he can keep this up. It's my only issue with Mixon is, unlike Barkley, I think Mixon might have a year on him or two. There's a little bit more tread coming off of those tires with Mixon, and he
Yeah.
sit in the Bengals offensive line, which I think is worse than the Giants.
And the thing that I noticed still with Mixon is that, I mean, granted, like everything you said is true with like how big the holes are, and that's the reason he's going off, because like he is not good after contact. So like he gets what's blocked for him, and you know the Texans block their ass off. So I mean he'll have a good year because of that. But it's just I don't think him, like compared to Barkley, like Barkley can still shake motherfuckers and run through people.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Mixon's more of a bull. Like you really saw the difference of Mixon in the Cincinnati game when you saw Zach Taylor running through the same gaps Mixon was. Like there's a big size difference. Mixon's a bull.
Yeah.
Really, really, really high up on both of these teams. Colts look dangerous.
I mean, it was just an all-around show on both sides.
And the early
It
window
was
in
a
general was
great show the whole
awesome.
way.
The fucking late games were kind of shit. The early window this Sunday was like incredible games. It was awesome.
All right, it's finally time to get to this game, huh? It's time to spend the next 20 minutes.
The Cardinals? Or no, the Browns.
No, we haven't gotten there yet.
Oh.
We haven't.
The Commanders. Okay.
Oh, here we go. The next hour is about to be taken over.
Jackson Jaguars 17 at Miami Dolphins 20. Dolphins come from 14 down to beat the Jaguars. Tyreek Hill, fresh off of being detained, was 26 points, 130 yards, and 1 touchdown, fantasy player of the game. Devon Achane had 23 points, 24 yards, 1 touchdown, 76 yards receiving. So Achane players that owners that did not believe the hype with Raheem Mostert and everything the Dolphin players were letting you know. You look smart for week 1. Good job.
Yeah, and probably only for week 1. We'll get to that later.
So Jalen Waddle, 16 points, 109 yards, 3 yards rushing. The Dolphins playmakers really lit it up on the fantasy boards. We even saw some action from fantasy legend himself, Alec Ingold.
Insane.
So Dolphins came from fucking 14 down. The first half of this game was an utter disaster. It didn't look like the star-studded secondary that the Dolphins knew how to play football. It looks like everybody was just fucking off on the offseason. Lawrence got to do whatever the fuck he wanted. ETN got to do whatever the fuck he wanted. I do not like the line on run plays right now.
Yeah, that's scary for people who drafted ETN because, I mean, Tank looks like they're really trying to split that backfield, him and Tank.
Yep. However, second half rolls around. Dolphins defense gets it together, completely shuts out the Jaguars offense. Tyreek Hill was quiet in the first half, really didn't get a whole lot going. Then gets an 80-yard bomb to the house. Jalen Waddle gets a couple of big plays, one right at the goal line. Momentum shifts completely. I think Jalen Waddle is really the momentum shifter. But momentum shifts completely. It gets taken completely away from the Jacksonville Jaguars. They jag it up in Miami. They give a couple of turnovers late. You know, these are two very typical stories. One, Miami fucking off and then coming back in the second half. It seems pretty normal at this point. Jacksonville Jaguars.
It's actually backwards.
No. It's with how Miami has been in the first half of fucking the season in September. This is almost exactly how it goes. They fuck off for the first half, and they come back in the second half. You're thinking of late Miami, where we kind
Yeah,
of
true.
do good. We kind of do good in the beginning, and then we completely give the game away at the end. But in this one, it was just a slow start, smart finish, and the Jacksonville Jaguars are the perfect team for this because they love to jag it up right at the end. So, I mean, I don't know if I have a critique one way or another. What I did not like was how the Dolphins came out. I don't. I
Yeah.
don't think you
No,
can.
I think that chalks up to, like we were saying it, man, a team that doesn't play a lot in the preseason. That was really their first taste of football this year, and it looked like it. The more concerning thing for me is like, Trevor leads the charge on jagging off like they usually do, and outside of that, like when Trevor starts melting down, outside of that, like the secondary outside of Holland is like that's concerning to me, especially the amount of money they poured into it. Holland's fucking saved their ass with that peanut punch. What an awesome play. But man,
they need to pay him. They need to pay him when it comes.
Yeah, they should have given him the fucking
him.
Ramsey money.
Pay him. Do not lose him. He's a great fucking one of the best in our recent past. One of the best drafts we've ever. One of the best draft picks we've ever.
And what's crazy is like looking at the defense on paper, I thought they were going to have the opposite problem. I thought their front was going to struggle, and the pass coverage would be good, and it's like kind of the opposite. I mean, I'm not sure if that's just week one or we'll have to see how it goes in the next couple weeks. They got some tough games coming up, especially with Buffalo this Thursday. I think that'll tell us a lot. But I don't know. Like Ramsey still looks good. Like it's not like Ramsey's dog shit, but like he's not. That didn't look like, man, that should be the highest paid corner in the NFL.
No, he was getting burnt way too often.
By a rookie too. Really good rookie, but still.
The 14 points. You can't do that with Buffalo.
No, they'll stomp you out.
You can't do that, Buffalo. You can't do that with the Ravens. Can't do that with the Chiefs. Can't do that with the big teams that the AFC. Like you got to be able to come out.
It's almost like the Dolphins are still beating up on bad teams.
Well, I don't know how bad Jacksonville is.
Jacksonville's bad even with a good record.
I don't know how bad Jacksonville is.
I think this was like an equal. It seemed like an equal fight. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it seemed like there was pretty fair playing grounds there. No one really had a big advantage, you know.
I guess positive to this is we saw the Dolphins go through a tough spot, get some adversity, and then figure it the fuck out in the second half. And I don't think I got to see that all of last year because they were beating up on bad teams last year. And then if they got fucking behind in the game, they were cooked. Like, this is one of those. It's nice to see.
What are we going to get? Like, so is this when we get over the hump of when we do look like a great team and there's no like, but they, you know.
No, that's the shitty part for you guys is we won't be able to make that determination until it's actually December. Like that's just the shitty part of it. Like you could blow the doors off for the next 2.5 months, and you're still just because of what it's been, you're still just going to be like, all right, let's see what happens here.
I think the first test of that will be Buffalo because that's one narrative we do need to crush, and we have the best opportunity to crush it in the last 5 years. But.
No Hard Rock Sun, though. I don't know. No Hard Rock Sun.
The other narrative is December, and December is a tough month for this fucking team.
Do you have any information? Actually, I did see something earlier today that both Mostert and Achane did not practice.
Yeah, that's worrying. That is especially Mostert because he got hurt early in the game. If I'm right.
Yes, you're correct. He got hurt in the first series, and then he went on a snap count after that.
Yeah, so I mean,
they play Thursday, right?
Yeah, so quick turnaround, man. That'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I'm not. What about? Did they say what kind of injury Achane had?
I think it was to.
I didn't recall reading what it was.
I think it was an ankle.
See that would.
I think when they put the practice reports out today, they didn't even really state why they didn't practice. They just put did not practice.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't have. I mean, that sucks. But like the offense isn't what worries me about Miami ever, especially this time of year. Like that'll be fine. You got fucking Tyreek Hill. Like that solves most of your problems right there.
I was gonna say they got Wilson Jr. and Wright.
Yeah, I was right. It's Raheem Mostert's chest, Devon Achan's ankle.
See, I'd actually be more bullish on Mostert playing just because it's not lower body. We'll see.
I
don't know. It's weird. It's like I mean, it was a fun game. There were some cool plays, but like I didn't learn anything about either team. It's one of those type of things. I'm like, it confirmed a lot of the things I already knew about both teams. It didn't answer any of my questions.
I don't think we're going
to get... It was a typical game from like last season that you would have seen from the Dolphins, 100%. Like,
yeah. But what's weird is like this was like a November game you'd see for them. Like I remember like because with their like early on last year, it's like they would struggle a little bit when it first got going, but then they would just then they would boat race you. Then they'd score 30 points out of nowhere. But maybe that's just week one slop, and they didn't play in the preseason, and
I think that's the same with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think that other than they kind of gave the game away, and some of it can be attributed honestly to Bigsby's rookiness, like that fumble that he had in the end zone. If that doesn't go that way, we're probably
you don't have the 14-point swing. You don't have it then. You just don't. Simple as that.
If Bigsby holds on to that ball, we just as easily be talking very negatively about Miami today. So I don't think that we can be very high up on either team, but I don't think we can be very down on either team either. I think both of these teams showed a good positive outlook of themselves and a good negative. It's just, which half did you want to watch? If you just watched the first half, the Jaguars look fucking great. If you only caught the second half, the Dolphins look fucking great. But we need to see a 4-quarter game from both of these teams. I think we'll see the Dolphins get tried on Thursday night, short week, versus a rival they've continually had problems with. And then on the other side of the ball, I think who did the Jags got next?
This would be the hump that we need to get over. This is like we need to dominate.
Oh, shit, the Jags are about to get tested too. They're about to go up against a very pissed off Browns defense. So, I think these next teams, we should probably reserve our actual opinions on them until next week.
But even with the Dolphins, I still reserve my opinion until December. You could beat the shit out of Buffalo tomorrow, and it's just one of those things.
Oh God! All right, that was a good game. Let's go to a terrible game.
Wow, we talked about Miami in record timing,
and we made it.
Whoa, shit! I didn't ask about Charles. Hey, Charles, how you doing?
No, you had my thoughts already. I think this game's not worth mentioning. We played like shit. Shouldn't have been that close. The Jaguars, thankfully, were the Jaguars, and we're gonna get our asses stomped this week. That's it.
And there's your hard truths with Sandman.
It's fair.
I don't know if we're gonna get stomped. I don't know. This might be the year we look good against the Bills.
Yeah,
we might beat them both times.
Might beat them
both times.
But then it might be one of those things where, like, damn, they look incredible. And
Charles, I'm going
to Allen.
That question for you.
If you guys beat Buffalo at home, that when you go face them, they're going to sacrifice like half their fan base to the pit.
Yeah, that's true.
Listen, I'll tell you later why Charles is wrong. But Charles is wrong.
I hope you pick the Dolphins from Pick'ems. That's what I'm saying.
That needs to be a whole nother
he's
show.
going to.
I will tell you later why you're wrong, Charles.
Yeah, no, he's picking Miami.
But
there ain't no way.
All right. So.
We don't got to talk about this next one.
I'm sorry, but we do.
Do we, though?
It's terrible. Steve had asked a question. It was a very important question. He had asked, "What team do we think might go winless this year?" And it was
Cleveland?
a very easy answer for me, at least. I had picked the Carolina Panthers.
Oh yeah. This game is so easily summed up. We don't have to spend much time here. The Panthers are getting the number one pick. At least they'll have their own pick this year. They're going to need it. Drafting Bryce Young was a dumbass move. Like, you drafted a guy who's average size, average arm strength, and I mean, not even average size. He's tiny and has average arm strength, and expected him to play in the NFL and be like a top 10 guy. I don't know what the fuck you were thinking. And then the Saints just took advantage of that. I mean, good on the Saints for beating the shit out of them. I'm still not impressed by the Saints. It was the Panthers.
No. Yeah. So the fantasy player of the game was Alvin Kamara with 22 points, 83 yards, 1 touchdown, 27 yards receiving. Interestingly enough, Bryce Young, 12 points.
Yep.
Get this.
Wow.
13 for 30.
Yep.
13 for 30, dude. That's not even 50% of the passes that you threw.
Bro, stop throwing. Stop throwing. No one told him, like, hey, man.
Well, that's the problem.
You might not care about stats and all that stuff, but, bro, you're fucking...
Yeah, but
completions right now, dog, are
the
bad.
problem is they can't run it either. They have no choice.
161 yards on that.
If I was him, I'd strike. I'd be like, I'm not fucking throwing this. I suck too much. I'm sorry. I'm not. I know I suck, and I'm not gonna fucking do another game 13 and 30. Like, I'm not missing fucking 20 plus passes.
Now, if you think that 13 for 30 and 161 yards is kind of 12 points is kind of high for that stat line,
Because of all the picks and the fumbles. Yeah.
No, they did allow Bryce Young in the end zone for 12 yards and a rushing touchdown.
Yeah.
So, other than
Only
that,
way he's
New
gonna get
Orleans
it.
fucking killed them. I don't know what else we can say to this. This game fucking sucked.
It's gonna be a long time before the Panthers are good again, man. This new owner is a fucking piece of work, dude. I don't know what they're doing. Man, it's
brutal.
Yeah, it's like I feel so bad for Carolina fans because they're one of those fan bases, like, they don't do nothing wrong. You know what I mean? It's the Panthers. You know,
They're not giving those tickets away at Bojangles.
Yeah, I mean, no one. You know, Panthers fans are cool, bro. I'm not sure if you guys have met Panthers fans, but like, they're cool. You know, they didn't deserve this shit.
They just exist, man. They just exist, and they have decent barbecues, bro. Like, what the fuck?
Sad, bro.
Somebody's got to be at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and it's them.
So
it's their turn.
Again.
Keeping up with the theme of very terrible fucking games, if there was a second team that I could pick to answer that question, and it's a tough one, it's a close call. I almost picked this team as the answer to the question, but I saw how bad the Panthers played. It's a very close call. If I could have a 1A and 1B, if there was like two teams that I don't think were going to win a game, it would definitely be the New York Giants.
Oh, yeah. There's a third team, too, that we'll get to later, but yeah.
Oh, my
Minnesota
God. What a
28.
tragedy.
Minnesota 28 at the Giants 6. Sam Darnold.
Yo, this stat line.
Sam Darnold is him. Daniel Jones is not. The fantasy player of the game is the Minnesota Vikings defense.
Yep.
At 22 points with 5 sacks, 2 interceptions, and one of those went for a pick 6. The pick 6 was scored by Andrew Van Ginkel, reunited with Brian Flores. Sam Darnold scored 16 points. He was 19 for 24, 208 yards, and 2 touchdowns with 3 yards rushing. Daniel Jones scored 7 points.
That's high for him.
22 for 42. You know how we were like telling Bryce Young to stop throwing at 13 for 30? This guy just said, fuck it. 42 passes. We'll make half of them. 22 for 42, 186 yards, 2 interceptions, and 15 yards rushing. Daniel Jones, since his contract signing, is 1 for 7, 2 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions, 165 yards per game, with a quarterback rating of 65.1.
That sounds like 40 million in a year, me.
Sounds What? This guy is the fucking market ruiner, dude. This guy is the problem in the market, bro. He has fucked the whole economy. Daniel Jones.
He's the reason why a quarterback will have one good game and they think that they're owed like fucking millions of dollars.
So is Danny DeVito
Guaranteed.
still on the team?
Who?
The Italian pasta guy.
Yeah, Tommy DeVito, I think, is still a Giant.
Bring him out ASAP.
I'm
ASAP.
telling
ASAP,
you tomorrow. That they just need. To be honest with you, his uncle already knows. Everybody in New York wants Daniel Jones.
It's not that even DeVito might be necessarily better, but it's definitely more entertaining. And if I'm going to watch my team suck anyway,
I definitely don't want to watch Daniel Jones.
Well, look, okay, so we know what the Giants are. Let's talk about what's actually important in this game. Can we talk about how Sam Darnold's good now?
and he's been hinting it for a little bit. He's like, that Fitzpatrick magic for a while now.
No,
yeah, man.
No. Before we get to Darnold, there is something that is even more important that I need to get off my chest right now. What in the fucking Montreal Canadiens was the Giants fucking wearing in this goddamn game?
Look, they wanted to dress like how they play.
Clowns.
Like shit.
Like the Canadians.
Like fucking Canadians.
Garbage.
All right, let's get to the man of the hour, Sam Darnold. Go ahead.
Yo, like I thought. I mean, obviously his time with the Jets was bad. They were all around bad when he was around there. They had no line, no receivers, no running backs. They didn't have shit to offer for the kid. And then he gets cut. He bounces around. He gets to San Francisco, and we see him play a little bit in San Francisco last year on an actual NFL team, and he looks decent. He looks like okay. He looks like Geno Smith. That kind of thing. And I was praying for this so hard that Aaron Rodgers comes back and looks like a fraud, which we'll get to that in a bit. And Sam Darnold's just going to look awesome, especially with Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. Like, dude, he fucking, his ball placement was awesome. He was making the right decisions. He wasn't like putting his team in danger at all. He wasn't seeing ghosts like the meme. And I honestly do think that they still have a chance to be like a wild card team in the NFC with Sam Darnold.
He was definitely looking like Kirk Cousins out there. Not Kirk Cousins today. Like Kirk Cousins last year.
He looked like Vikings Cousins for sure.
Yeah.
I gotta take off, gentlemen. I'll see you later.
All right, hey, make sure you put your pick'ems.
I already did my pick'ems. I already did it.
Oh yeah. All right.
Yes, sir.
Let's get to the next. Or wait, Charles, did you got anything on this game?
Okay, so one, I didn't watch this game, right?
Okay, good.
Two, if you were to tell me, if I was in a coma for at least the last 6 months and you told me how week one of the NFL went, I'd be, that sounds exactly right. Like, there's nothing shocking about this game. The Giants and Daniel Jones are exactly who we thought they are. And the Giants are basically in like purgatory for forever, for a long ass time.
And what really sucks is that this is going to get Brian Daboll fired. And I do honestly think that he's a really good coach. And I feel really bad for him.
I agree there. Yeah. I don't think this is a coach. This is a skill issue.
Yeah.
You know, like you really can't go past the fact that your quarterback sucks. I can't even think
really
of a
has to
fucking
just-
free agent that could save their season or anything. They're just
Nope.
Sorry, Giants fans. You're gonna have to
This
punt
is
this
really
season.
just down on the guy who fucking made a decision that it was a good idea to give Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
$40 million.
That guy, like, and the moment he got, you know what's crazy? That usually, like, so he gets signed to $40 million, which at the time was like, I think maybe one of the highest, if not the highest, like, per year fucking payments, and like, immediately the reaction nationally was like, wow, the Giants are fucking idiots. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't like everyone who wasn't, even the Giants fans, I guess, would tell you they knew, but like it was like everyone except the GMs and the Giants management like immediately knew, wow, this is fucking stupid.
So I
got exactly as expected.
I work with the Giants fan, and we were like talking about football the other day, and I was like, "Are you excited for the football season?" It was before the weekend, and she goes, "I'm not watching football this year."
Yeah, see, they know.
Yeah.
So I really hate the Giants. I'm sorry. I don't know what else.
Oh, me too. It couldn't happen to a better team.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck the Giants.
There's a couple I can think of, but they're still on my list of haha. You know, they share the stadium with the Jets. Fuck them.
Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah, I mean, by proxy, I guess. Fuck them.
Yeah, by proxy, just fuck them.
So let's get to a good game because this game sucked. Other than Sam Darnold fucking being good out of nowhere.
Was this game good?
No, this game was not good. Well, I mean, it depends on if you're a J.K. Dobbins owner. Las Vegas 10, Chargers 22. J.K.
Harbaugh.
Dobbins was the player of the game. 23 points, 135 yards and a touchdown, 4 yards receiving. The Raiders sucked with no quarterback as usual.
Yep.
Who's quarterback for the Raiders right now?
Gardner
Minshew.
Jesus, what?
It's tough times, bro. It's tough times over there. What are you talking about?
Dude, fuck talking about the Raiders. We know what that is. Dude, I'm so hyped on Harbaugh being back in the NFL. He's just such a football guy, and he even did shit like he's telling the team like we're gonna be a blue collar team, right? You know what this guy does? He goes out and he buys those like Dickies shirts that mechanics wear. He bought the whole team those like little custom Chargers ones, and he was right, man. They're gonna run the shit out the ball, play good defense. I mean, they're unfortunately in the division with the Chiefs, so they're not going to win their division. But it's just a unique style of football, man. Teams can't really prepare for it. There's really only two teams in the league that play like that. It's New England and them, and it's just tough to prepare for. And they got a really good quarterback, so good for them. Good for the Chargers. We'll see if they can stay healthy. That's always been their thing.
I'm looking at the Minshew's like game stats, and they're very Minshew. Like it's exactly what you'd expect. 257 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and a fumble loss. Like
that checks out.
That checks out pretty good. Wow, Raiders, y'all also in purgatory. Glad I'm not done.
That is a 100% on-brand stash game. What the fuck? You take the good with the bad. You ride the way.
Because like it's either you get this or you're gonna get like 4 touchdowns, maybe 1 interception, and just a ball out. Chug some beers. Like
he'll have a couple. He'll have a couple of those this year.
Yeah, well, we'll get some.
A couple of which the beers.
Yeah. Like just a Minshew mania. Yeah. Like I'm gonna dick you down.
Yeah, we'll get like two or three. They'll get a good matchup, 2 or 3 games, and they'll just Minshew Mania run wild real quick. It's a good meme. It's fun. We'll have fun with it.
Just not this week. Sorry, guys.
Nope.
Is there anything else to cover in this Raiders game? All right.
Denver Broncos 20, Seattle Seahawks 26.
I've been waiting for this one.
KW3 helps to spark the Seattle late game victory.
Fuck yeah.
Fantasy player of the game was Kenneth Walker, 3 at
God
90
bless.
points, 103 yards, 1 touchdown, 6 yards receiving.
He got hurt in the process though, so
Hurt ankle, I think it was.
yep, it's tough.
I just want to let everybody know that this game started for the Seahawks with a sack on the first play,
Yep.
and then an interception on the second.
It did, but man, this was one of the strangest games ever. Like, Bo Nix.
I got a hot
What the
take. Bo
fuck?
Nix sucks.
Yo, so he had over 40 pass attempts, and he threw for like 120 yards. You know how hard that is? To throw the ball 40 times and only get like 120 yards? He downfield on anything past 10 yards, which they only threw like 10 times, was 1 for 10 with 2 picks. I called it. Monkey, did I not say when the draft happened, when we were covering the draft, I said, congratulations, you have Mac Jones.
Yep. Except they don't, because Mac Jones knew better. That's the only.
Yeah, that's true.
Mac Jones knew better. This guy thinks that he's fucking some sort of hero.
Like, there was a pick that was so bad that so he throws into double coverage, right? So terrible. It was so bad that the announcers, while the ball was still in the air, audibly go, "Oh no!"
I'd love to see a clip of that one.
Oh, it's just pull up the highlights of the game. You'll see it.
Yeah,
That's where I
let me
saw it.
jump on the X.
It's fucking. If you just type in "Oh no, Bo Nix," you'll probably find it.
That's where I'm going. Oh, here we go. Oh no, it's actually a highlight.
Yeah. Oh no.
Hey, I want you to do me a favor. Send that to me.
My man threw it to 2 defenders.
Team
Straight
party.
up.
And so, man, good luck. Good fucking luck with all that.
You ever played Jackpot? You ever played that game with your friends?
Yeah, it was. He's jackpot.
Exactly,
He's Mr.
jackpot.
You know what I love? So I watch college football a lot, and so there's some great memes that I will let you guys in on because his name is Bo Nix, right? So Bo picks, Mo picks. There's a lot here that we can work with, guys. So just brainstorm on that. So they suck. And I didn't learn anything about Seattle because they kind of looked bad in this game too. But like, Bo Nix was that bad that it just didn't matter what Seattle did. Like, Seattle was going to win no matter what. Geno had a terrible pick too. He's good for that once a game. He'll just fucking throw you one. So I don't know. I didn't learn shit besides Bo Nix sucks.
Poopy pick. It was a poopy pick. He's unfortunately though. Bo Nix had 2.
Yeah,
Very
exactly.
fucking
So,
terrible.
I don't know.
Bo Dix.
We'll see about Geno next week. I mean, they got New England next week, so let's see how good Geno really is.
You know what else? The Broncos' offensive line ain't good.
Ooh, no. And what's crazy is they're not even towards the bottom of it, but that's just the state of line right now. But yeah, it's pretty bad.
Like, as trash as Bo Nix is, the amount of times that I saw him running for his fucking life was insane.
And but that's like to the end where I'm like, Seattle didn't play well, so their line's not good, and yet like there were some plays where like they just couldn't stop the run, and you're dealing with it's not a great offense, and you can't stop the run a lot, so that's not good.
All right, let's go to. Oh, man. Cowboys 33, Browns 17.
Next.
Fantasy game.
Next.
Fantasy player of the game was Brandon Aubrey.
Yep. He won it in my work league. What a boss.
Kicker.
I want to refuse to talk about this game because the Dallas fans have already started.
Yeah.
points, 4 field goals, 2 from 50 plus, 3 extra points.
We'll say it's bullshit because they trotted him out there to try a 70-yard kick, and then they took him back, and they were up like 30 points. Let him fucking go for it, man. That's the only thing I take away from this game is that Justin Tucker is no longer the best kicker. It's that guy.
God fucking damn it, dude! I will fucking Justin Tucker too, man.
I'm sorry. It's just it happens. Justin Tucker got old, and this kid he's awesome.
Oh yeah, this dude from MLS, that was a mistake not picking him instead.
Yeah, he's awesome.
I hyped him up, and I didn't pick him in the UFA league, which makes me sad. Got on my 2 other leagues up.
Justin Tucker won't be ass, but it's just from deep.
No, I know. Yeah, this dude got some crazy accuracy.
Yeah, it's nuts. I mean, fucking Lester the molester, fucking doing his thing out here. I don't know,
Hey, CeeDee Lamb looked pretty fucking good today.
Yeah, so did Brandon Cooks, dude. Brandon Cooks looked really good in that offense. So, I mean, and he went late in drafts. He went super late.
Scoring the touchdowns was fucking pretty nostalgic.
Yeah, and I mean, against a really good defense, too. You can't overlook that. I get Deshaun sucks, but, that's, supposed to be one of the best defenses in the league, and they fucked them up. Early, too. Right away, they fucked them up.
Commanders 20, Tampa Bay 37.
Speaking of a team that might not win a game.
Oh, boy. Yeah, Jaden Daniels' debut really got fucked, didn't it?
Did I not call all this shit with the quarterbacks, Monkey? Was I not 1,000% accurate with everything I said?
Yeah, well, I will give him this, though.
He can run like a motherfucker. I'll give him that.
Let me read these stats. Fantasy player of the game, by the way, is Baker Mayfield. 30 fucking points from Baker Mayfield on fantasy.
Crazy.
24 for 30, 289 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 21 yards rushing. But Jaden Daniels was not too far behind. He was at 28 points.
Misleading.
But if you were expecting a great quarterback stat, that's going to be 17 for 24 and 184 yards. He had 88 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground. Kid's got some legs.
Yeah, and a lot of those yards were garbage time, the passing yards. During the part of the game that actually mattered, he couldn't throw for shit.
So congratulations, Washington. You have a running back playing quarter.
Dude, everything I said about this team is coming true. They got nothing on offense. They got Terry McLaurin. That's it. They got a shit offensive line. They don't have a defense. Their special teams is shit. They just cut the kicker today. And everyone during the offseason with both him and fucking Caleb. Oh, they're so great. They're gonna play week 1 and be incredible and all this shit on dog shit teams. So fucking unrealistic, and everyone just glazing out of control about these kids, and you put them into dog shit situations, and then look what happens. It's why haven't teams learned this already? If you're not ready as a team just to be competent at a baseline level, just to be okay, you don't have to be great, just be an average team. If you're not at least an average team and you haven't figured it out yet, don't put the fucking kid in. You're gonna ruin him.
So I don't know really what to say, but I will say this. It is very, very, very Cleveland Browns that Baker Mayfield is one of the highest fantasy players this week.
I'm just glad. I'm just happy for Baker, man. He's such a Tampa guy. That's such a good fit.
Yeah. He's Florida man vibes.
Yeah. And it's just good. I've always been a fan of his, so I'm just stoked for him. I can't really learn too much about the team because they played a dog shit team. But good for him, man. I think he'll play good all year.
Sam, man, you got a little bit of an echo on your mic.
Gotcha.
Rams, this is a fucking great game. This could have been
This is good.
game of the week. It was very, very. It's still happening.
This was my vote.
Los Angeles Rams 26, Detroit Lions 20 in overtime. Stafford comes up short yet again in Detroit.
You got that. You got the headline wrong, but yeah.
Yeah, Stafford came up short in Detroit.
Lions got 26, right? Yeah, Lions got 26.
Yeah. Fantasy player of the game, Cooper Kupp, 32 points, 110 yards and a touchdown,
Crazy.
10 yards rushing. This was such a good game. It
They had everything.
it hurts that Stafford didn't get this one. I feel like they really deserved it.
And kind of to dive into fantasy, like this whole thing where Puka Nacua got drafted so early, like I mean the IR thing, yeah, that sucks. But like a lot of that shit with Cooper happened before Puka got hurt. And like I kind of saw that coming. Like, dude, you can't tell me that Puka Nacua is the better receiver than Cooper Kupp. That whole thing was out of control. That was wild. I didn't understand that shit.
Where did the Puka injury happen?
Close to the
First
half,
quarter?
I think.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
like
the
between
second,
first and
right?
second quarter.
Yeah, it was like mid second quarter.
And he's going on IR for that shit.
Yep. Which IR is shorter now, so it's only 4 games. Maybe that's the soonest he can come back, but who knows? I mean, and their offensive line took a bunch of hits too. They got a bunch of injuries there too. Guys are going out for a couple weeks, so man, he lost in many ways. But on the flip side, man, the Lions, dude, they look so fucking good.
They do.
I just like kind of like what we were talking about with New England earlier. Like when you get to the end of the game and you just say, fuck you, we are just going to run the ball down your throat. There's nothing, you know, we're going to do it. We know we're going to do it. And you're not stopping us. Like that's the most demoralizing thing you can do in football. And they did it the whole last drive in overtime. They just keep running it. You're not going to stop it. We keep running it.
Yeah, like everyone in the building, the announcers, everyone said, well, if this is working.
Oh, you know what I got wrong? I didn't get the headline wrong. I got the score backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. I didn't get the headline wrong.
And I think I saw some overreactions on Twitter about kind of like, I mean, Jamison Williams had a pretty good game, but Amon-Ra St. Brown really underperformed. But it's just one of those things where, and that's it's Dan Campbell football. Like if you can't stop the run, they're just going to keep running it. There's no reason to just start airmailing it when that's happening.
I honestly think that they have, in my opinion, the best 1-2 running back punch.
Yeah, with probably like the best offensive line.
Yeah, I don't think that can be debated. I honestly don't think that can be debated. Did Doc get sacked?
No, and I think there. I mean, you can say there's other O linemen singularly that are better at some positions than them, like Trent Williams and shit like that. But like as a unit, like there's no like when you can go against a team like the Rams in an overtime drive to win the game and just literally run the ball for 80 yards, one play at a time and win, like that's crazy, bro. Because like the Rams are still really good defense even without Aaron Donald. And I'm just so hyped.
Their linebacker core is majorly.
Yeah. They got great linebackers, man. It's people don't talk about linebackers anymore, which makes me sad as a football guy.
It's because they've become okay. So,
but they're so important. I don't understand it. Like all the great defenses in the league have great linebackers.
We stopped calling. Okay, defensive ends and linebackers on the outside really got fucked when we started calling edge a position. Because edge is not a position. Edge is a defensive end or an outside linebacker that's rushing the quarterback. That's all that is. That's not a position. That is a strategy. A lot of linebackers get erased here.
It's because most teams, they just have those quote unquote edge rushers. There's not a lot there's only a couple teams in the league where the people who pass rush can also cover. Like it's
You can
just
also
not.
drop in zone.
Yeah,
And why do you think that is? I think that's just
it's dumb because it is coaching and it's not good defense. Like and not to bring it back to my team, but I'm going to because they have one of the best defenses in football back for a long time now, and that's what they've always done. Like, sure, they have a guy or two that they'll put in situationally that's just a pass rusher, but like if you're going to play outside, like they have true outside linebackers in that scheme, and it gives the offensive line fits because you have no idea how to read that. They like with New England. Like what they were doing, this is why Joe Burrow was seeing fucking ghosts because they would line up in a double mug look like they're going to zero blitz, and it's because usually when people disguise like that, the two linebackers that are in the A gap are just going to come back and they're going to drop in the zone. Not when you have good outside linebackers because you can leave those linebackers in to rush, and then the outside backers shift into the middle of the defense, and it ends in a terrible play every single time for the offense. And I don't know, it's just because that's the sexy thing to do. You think sacks are, I mean, they're cool, but they're kind of like overrated. Like the important part is getting pressure and getting hurries, like because that's what
this shit is
throw.
why this is why running backs have become so prevalent in the running game or in the passing game.
Yeah,
Because we are sending the outside linebackers almost exclusively on the edge. The cover 6 zone scheme, you don't see it a lot. The
no,
flats, you don't see it a lot. And then in consequence to that, people like Saquon Barkley can come off of the flat on the turn and fucking catch a ball, and he's got 30 yards in front of him before he sees the next defender. Like, and that's all over the place. Fucking the Bucks do it consistently. The Dolphins even can get away with it. I saw fucking fuck, what's his name? We're about to talk about that in San Francisco. They were fitting those things in. It's because we aren't protecting this little area on the side. We call it a flat. This little area on the fucking side that's only like a 3 or 5 yard completion at best before they gotta yak it for the rest. Because that shit's so unprotected, you know, these running backs are getting away with fucking murder, and the tight ends are fucking murder.
they're playing the Tyreek Hill footage behind you, and it's really funny during this rant.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh shit, that's police brutality, baby. Fucking Miami's finest, right there.
Which game are we talking about here? I'm sorry.
Lion. Well, we were talking about we got on a tangent here, but we were talking about the Lions and the Rams.
But yeah, so
okay,
that was funny. Yeah, the when we talk about edge rushers and linebackers and their thing, I feel like it's self-defeating to defenses to sit and key in on quarterbacks so hard. But if you don't, and this is the monkey paw of it, this is like the double edge of it. If you don't sell out in that way, people like Lamar Jackson are gonna fucking kill you. People like Jalen Hurts are gonna fucking kill you. Like, so this is an interesting situation in the league because back in 2004, Michael Vick only did this. You know, back in 2000,
now it's half the quarterbacks.
Yeah, now you have to plan for half of the league being Michael Vick, and that's tough. Again, even with those defenses, I feel like this is going to be a matchup that's going to continue to keep delivering.
Oh, it's a big rivalry that's kind of just starting, man, and it's a fun one.
And it all has to do with a couple of quarterbacks.
I mean, the story behind it, like they're both the first overall pick for the opposite team and get traded. Like it's just fucking, and they're both having awesome careers afterwards. So it's like it's just so cool.
Like the puzzle pieces fit so perfectly, and then there's still yet so much animosity because honestly because of who Matt Stafford was in Detroit. I think that's really what fuels it.
And what blows my mind is like they boo the shit out of that guy.
Yeah.
Like after all he
And
did for you,
you know
that's
what?
crazy.
You're not going to hear this a lot from other people, but I am not of other people's mindsets. I actually respect the fuck out of Detroit for that.
I don't. Not their
I
fans.
do.
I don't.
I do because okay, it's under the understanding, at least the first time it happened. I don't know about it this time. The first time it happened, they gave Matt flowers before the game. They gave him a little video,
They
whatever.
booed his family.
And then afterwards they gave
No, it was before the game, and he brought his. It was before the game. They booed his family came on the field without Matthew Stafford, and they booed his wife and children.
Oh, see, I didn't know that. I thought they were doing that like after the video.
No.
We're seeing them.
No.
Oh well, then Detroit. Oh well, see, I still think of it as this that Detroit's loyalty to team.
Detroit, yeah, it's impressive. I'll give him that.
Yeah, because to sit there and fucking like, all right, you are definitely in our ring of honor when you retire. You're probably going to retire and be put in. If you are going to Canton, it'll definitely be in a Detroit Lions jersey.
I don't know, man. He won his fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah, he won a Super Bowl with LA, but a lot of his accolades come in Detroit.
It's true.
Honestly, it depends on how his career ends, but probably in Detroit. And Detroit loves this man, but right now, no, bitch. Right now, no, bitch. We got football to play. You're the enemy. Fuck Matt Stafford. I like it. But one of my favorite guys on YouTube was saying like, "Oh, look, we're riding with golf. Fuck Stafford." With a Stafford jersey under his golf jersey.
Oh man, it's so true. I'm high on both these teams. I think the Rams can have a couple speed bumps here with some injuries real quick, but dude, he looks as good as he's always looked. He's always been fucking incredible.
Dude, it's gonna be really hard to euthanize that dog in him, dude.
No, it's impossible. And Kupp looks like he's fully back. I mean, he was kind of coming back from injury last year, and at least they have Puka still. But I know it's the national news.
Town.
Yeah, and but man, it's just Cooper Kupp people forget, man. Like he won the Triple Crown. That's one of the best receivers in football. He was just hurt. And Kyron Williams, man, he looks. I was wrong about that. I was super high on Blake Corum. I still am, like as a player, but it's going to be hard for him to take Kyron Williams' job. He looks so good.
Kyron Williams is still fucking doing this shit in week 5, dude. So I am so glad that this is.
I've been waiting the whole show for this.
New York Jets 19, San Francisco 32. Well, at least we could say Aaron Rodgers survived the game.
Yeah, that's a positive, more than 4 snaps this time. So there you go.
Fantasy player of the game was Alan Lazard with 27 points, 89 yards on 2 touchdowns. Jake Moody also, by the way, had 26 points, 6 field goals, 2 from 50 yards, and two extra points. However, here's the surprising one. Jordan Mason, 32 points, 147 yards, and a touchdown with 5 yards receiving. This guy came in late Friday or Saturday, depending on who the fuck you ask, and decided, you know what? I'm going to prove that Christian McCaffrey is a system running back.
Yeah, like that's a fun meme. But like, dude, the Jets defense, you got problems, bro. Like, I get they have a good offensive line in San Francisco, but you can't let Jordan fucking Mason go over 80 yards on you and still be an elite defense. Like, they got problems up front.
Who got hurt? I know Sauce got hurt.
Yeah, but he came back in the game. Everyone that got kind of hurt came back in, so it's false alarm.
Don't even get that as an excuse. God damn.
No. And I mean, the Jets look like decent on offense. It doesn't look like, Alan Lazard. I mean, one touchdown was a free play because they jumped off sides. The other one was garbage time. So, like, I don't really believe in that. It really looks on offense. The only thing they have is Hall and Wilson. That's kind of it. They looked okay. Like, they looked decent on offense, but, like, they just couldn't get opportunities because San Francisco doubled them up in time of possession. And so if they can't stop the run, that's every team saw that. So every team's going to try to do the same thing.
And
Good luck.
Every team's got at least one, but usually a pair of running backs.
Yeah. It'll be okay. They only have to deal with Raheem Mostert, A-Chan, Ramondre Stevenson, and Josh Allen and James Cook. I'm sure they'll figure it out, right?
Yeah. What can go wrong?
So do you want to read? You guys want to know a funny stat?
Pig? Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I don't really. I mean, it was a dog shit play that is totally on the receiver. You guys want to know a funny stat? So Aaron Rodgers' Week 1 stat line was 13 for 21, 167 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Zach Wilson, Week 1 last year, 14 for 21, 140 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
I would like to add that in this game, we watched Tyrod Taylor play one better drive than Aaron Rodgers' whole game.
Yep. And again, look, you got a 40-year-old quarterback coming off an Achilles injury, and you didn't play at all in the preseason. You reap yourself.
In one drive, he made half of Aaron Rodgers' fantasy score for the entire game.
Yep. With backups against San Francisco's starting defense.
That sounds awesome to me.
Just want you to know that I have Aaron Rodgers in all 3 of my leagues.
Welcome to fantasy football.
Hell yeah, baby.
Jets second string looks better.
You learned a very valuable lesson that you just don't draft Jets players ever.
I've been trying to tell everybody, but no one listens.
I was also one of those fucking people who had Christian McCaffrey in the league, and they made that game time decision of, oh yeah, McCaffrey's not playing, and I had a last minute pick up Mason, taking a gamble, and well, it paid off.
Well, it paid off, yeah. I mean, and honestly, you'll probably be fine because he's going to ball out behind that offensive line. So I just ride it until McCaffrey's back. Fuck it.
Yeah, even then, there's still concerns because it's no idea how this is going to play on McCaffrey in the future.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're the coaching staff and you see how good that kid played, there's no way you can see that and see you got this great running back in C-Mac, but he's injury prone, and see let's just split the carries.
Yeah. Here, C-Mac, you take these. All right, take a break. Mason, you go out. Boom. Okay, cool. You take a break. C-Mac, go back out and get that touchdown. Okay.
Which, I think you'll be fine. It's not going to ruin your season, but it's definitely not what you wanted out of a top whatever pick you got him in.
No.
Yeah, no. I was going to say a lot of the top first round picks this year. There
Not good.
There's some issues.
Besides CD Lamb, that looks like it's going to be okay,
Tyreek.
and Tyreek and Justin Jefferson still looks awesome.
Saquon went in first round in some drafts.
I took Saquon in the first round in our league. Got a steal.
Some of the larger leagues that ones we had that were more than 10 teams, you saw Saquon go in the first round.
Yeah, and that's why I took him. I was in the back end of that draft.
Yeah, I got the back end of all drafts this year. I think the only one I was in the front was FFB, and I was the second pick.
All right,
and that's where I got McCaffrey.
Yeah, man, fuck the Jets. Just fuck the Jets. This is the funniest outcome. Just they can't stop the fucking run. They can't cover. Fucking.
For all of us in the AFC East, I think we can all come together and unanimously agree that it was very nice that all of our teams won except the Jets.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dude.
Just so that I can share it.
Who the fuck saw that coming? That was so surprising. I was like, what the fuck just happened?
Could you believe it?
No, I was like, what the fuck's going on right now?
I mean, who would have thought us? Right?
Could be a fun division, man. It's gonna be a fun year. It's
And Miami still finds a way to lose to the Jets. No.
They might. Well, all the teams, honestly. Well, I think there's a fucking chance that everyone just splits with each other.
Who would have thought?
It's a fun year, man. It's gonna be a fun year.
Look at us.
Look at us. Stop the count.
Yeah, fuck for real. Like this is it. Perfect.
So how many weeks are going to go by of Rodgers doing nothing until the Jets actually decide maybe we need to start Tyrod?
No, they won't. They'll start Aaron Rodgers the whole year.
Yeah, it's true. They got to get their money's worth on him, right?
Yep. Man.
He's going to cost Robert his job.
Oh, yeah. They're going to – and this is the thing I told Jets fans when they started doing all this shit. I'm like – they're like, yeah, but it's finally – we got a quarterback. We finally got a quarterback. I'm like, sure. And this is before the injury. I was like, yeah, sure. But like 2 years from now, man, they're going right back to where they were. Everyone's going to get fired. Yeah. They're going to completely rebuild tank mode again, back on the carousel.
Love to see it.
Poetic justice would be Robert getting a tattoo of Aaron Rodgers.
All right. Are you all ready for week one's fraud alerts?
This is a good week. It's a really good week.
Greatest week for frauds, dude. Week one. All right, who wants to start it?
Dude, I got a couple. I'm not gonna lie.
All right.
So I'm gonna let everyone else go because I got.
Okay, I'll start it. I'll start it because this really goes back to the previous season. And once again, I didn't think I'd have to start so early, but once again, the entire Bengals organization just needs to be fucking finished.
Yeah, that was one of them. I was looking at.
Yep.
Holy crap! With so much new things happening in New England. And we all saw that, and the expectations really, and the spread that we had going. We did not think that it was going to be a blowout, but we did not think the Bengals were going to lose that one.
I did. I 100% accurately predicted this game last week.
And the worst part about it, as good as the Bengals have been in the last few years, let us not forget that before these couple last years, minus the Burrow injury, they've been the Bungles. They've always stuck to the identity of being the Bungles. And week one, you start your season with the players still crossing the street, maybe getting almost hit by cars just to get to practice. And even with Joe Burrow, y'all lose to the Patriots. What the fuck is wrong with this place?
And they looked like Joe Burrow looked like ass. Usually it's a thing like, oh, the defense sucked and we lost week one, or like, oh, the receivers just weren't getting open. Like, no, like this one was different.
I really thought maybe that indoor practice facility was finally going to fix them, but
no.
Turns out there's just no escaping the ball.
I just think they're at a point now where all the players are just, they're me, pay me. No one's really focused on the team. Their culture sucks. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Oh, if you get open, bro, hit you, I'm always open.
Yeah.
Right,
always
Steve,
open.
Go ahead.
Who's my fraud? Oh, I'm gonna fraud the Falcons.
Oh yeah,
it's a fraud show.
Oh no.
You know, I like Bijan and I like a lot of people on that team, but Cousins isn't the answer. Going back to what we stated during the recap of that game, that Cousins is just. It's like I think Brendan said it, that he's still shell shocked from that injury. He's not moving. He's not gonna be the MVP Cousins. He's not. He's not gonna be primetime Kirk Cousins. He's not gonna be none of it. He's gonna be just there. 4 weeks, 5 weeks are gonna pass, and we're gonna watch Michael Penix take over that offense.
Oh man. All right.
Which is a shame because I got Drake London and some guys in other leagues, but
same. I mean, just wait. It'd be okay when Penix.
Fantasy value.
When Penix gets in there, it'll be all right. The kid's good.
So, I think it's obvious who fraud alert should be.
Oh yeah.
The Dolphins? No.
No, I got him right here.
Close.
This guy.
Jason Sanders. No, you mean to tell me we're just gonna forget that absolutely fucking abysmal shake at the goddamn in the fourth with like
He's the whole reason it was a nail biter.
20 out? Like you realize that we're like so safe if he doesn't miss that kick, right? Like that game does not get to be a nail biter. Fucking my problem with this is that every fucking time that I think, all right, this guy is definitely getting fired. That's it. Like shaking it 20 yards out, 100%. Like there's no fucking way we're seeing this guy next week. But then he pulls a game winner from like 48 or 49 out. Fuck him. Fuck him. Fuck this organization. They're going to get suckered another fucking week. We're going to get fucking Jason Sanders another fucking week. And he's going to shank another fucking kick for no fucking reason because that's his brand now. He went almost 100% perfect 3 years ago, and he hasn't been the same fucking kicker since. Fuck this guy. He's a fucking fraud. He's going to sit here and keep swindling my fucking organization because they're like, oh, he saved the day. Fuck him. Fuck him. There would have been no day to save if he didn't shank that 20-yard fucking kick, dude. It's fuck him. I'm fucking over Jason Sanders, bro. All right, I'm done. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was pretty accurate. I mean, there's like the low-hanging fruit, Aaron Rodgers, which he is on fraud alert. We all understand that.
Yes.
But I want to go a little deeper here. Kick off the year with a bang. I'd like to put all the draft fucking people, just all of them, ESPN people, all those assholes. Fuck all of them.
Fucking super frauds.
They gassed these fucking two quarterbacks up so bad that they had everyone thinking that they're going to be the greatest of all time. Caleb Williams is going to take the Bears to the fucking playoffs in year one. Jaden Daniels is going to rush for 5,000 yards, and the Commanders are going to be good with no good players. And look what happened. Oh, look, it's almost like everything I said about the draft was completely right, that I was so happy that my team got to pick third overall between the two biggest dumpster fires in the NFL when it comes to developing quarterbacks. Thank you. I appreciate it, and we'll revisit my statements at the end of the year when Drake May is the best quarterback out of this class.
Oh, no.
And Monkey's laughing because he knows it's true.
No, it's probably true. Fuck these guys. All right. Time for some fantasy stuff, right? Now, before we go to start spinning sleeper, we should probably look at our leagues.
Hey, can we do me a favor though? Can we change it up? Because I got a flight early as fuck in the morning. Can we do our picks real quick and I gotta log off?
All right.
Can we do that?
Let me do the. Well, fucking first, if we're gonna do picks, then we should probably. Do you have any bets?
Man, caught me off guard. No, I kind of don't this week. I'm sorry, guys.
All right, we'll get to that. Don't worry.
We didn't. Betting in the first fucking 2 weeks of the year is dumb as shit. Just like throw some shit at the wall and hope you win. That's like seriously my best.
Right, because who was going to make the bet about Xavier Worthy or fucking Jordan Mason?
Yeah, like what the fuck? Like, who could have predicted mostly everything that happened? No one. It's just that's what happens every fucking year. Besides the fact that I told you to bet your fucking mortgage on New England covering, and I hope you listened to me.
Yeah, I did.
Hope you listened.
I did actually listen to that bet. I'm up pretty good right now on all that.
Same. We had a good fucking weekend, man. We really did for week one. Fuck.
Sir. All right. Let's do the pick'ems. Let me get to the sleeper app.
There's some fucking teams about to get demolished. I'm looking at it right now. Holy shit.
All right, while he's trying to pull that up, what's your number one waiver picks this week?
I mean, Mason, obviously, if you can even get him at this point, Mason would be huge.
Well, you're skipping a name because there is one guy who was undrafted in a lot of leagues, and he was a free agent, and he snapped in the first game of the week.
Who?
Isaiah Likely.
Yeah, that too, man. Mark Andrews owners, you're fucking in shambles, dude.
Yeah.
So I would honestly think.
Although I think it's too early to tell on a Likely.
Yeah, I mean that's like kind of an overreaction, but
that's
like,
what I was going to say. It's hard to tell down the stretch, but you know he is a tight end that plays like a wideout.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So, does everybody have their sleeper apps open?
Yes, sir.
All right.
I do not, but
it's all right. You can just plug them in whenever.
Thursday night football. Thursday night football in Miami. Buffalo goes up against the Dolphins. The Dolphins are 56% favorited to win the game. So I'm gonna pick
the Dolphins. Yeah, we get it.
Dolphins, obviously, but I will support it with some facts. The Dolphins are going to be going up against possibly the worst iteration of the Bills defense they've seen in the last 5 years. And that is not an exaggeration. This Bills defense is looking at mismatches all over the field. Tyreek Hill can get past them. Jalen Waddle can get past them. Jalen Wright can get past them. Devon Achane can get past them. If Raheem Mostert plays, he can get past them. The secondary is very fucking scary. The one and only prey that they have to stop this Dolphins defense is to get to Tua and get to Tua often. If they do not get to Tua and they allow that fucking receiving core past their cornerbacks, this is going to be a track meet to the end zone that they can't win. The big important key to Buffalo is to rattle the fuck out of Tua as much as possible, hassle him, make him think quick. He's not good in the under pressure like that. He makes very sketchy decisions. That's the only prey. I do not believe that the Bills can match up one-on-one with the Dolphins playmakers. They can't. This is not going to work. And if we allow how the Bills like to do it, or hoping to like to do it, because they didn't like to do this last year. They had a defense last year, but how they're hoping to do it, you aren't going to win a point for point matchup with the Dolphins this time. The defense has to come to play, and honestly, because of how the secondary is so weak on the Bills, it's the front seven that needs to come to play. We have to take, if you're a Bills fans right now, you have to take some sort of pressure off of Josh Allen. You cannot let him want to go play hero ball against the Dolphins and try to outscore their fucking offense. It's going to lead to putting him way more at risk, way early in the fucking season. The receivers need to be able to get open. This defense got tried pretty hard in Jacksonville, or against Jacksonville in the first half. I know that this receiving core is not as good as Jacksonville's, but they've got to be able to create some sort of pressure. James Cook is going to be a huge factor in this game. Can he get going? The Dolphins do not look like they're going to be able to stop a run. So James Cook has to get going. Josh Allen is always a threat on the ground. But at the end of the day, I really, really like the Dolphins' chances. Is that defense is by far the worst it's ever been, and that does not bode well.
You know, you brought up something now, and it's the reason why I don't put Tua in a conversation of greatest quarterbacks, because it's that moments where he doesn't handle pressure. You
I gotta
know,
be able to say that until he can, bro. He has not
yeah.
shown me any, except for I guess last week we can say that he was able to handle pressure, but
That
he
wasn't
has
pressure.
not shown me any sort of like real deal Holyfield like
I mean, the
I can
pressure that
handle
I'm
pressure.
talking about is that 2 minutes left on the game, you are one possession away from the win. The game is in your hands. This is your moment type of play, and
Fuck, not even that, because Charles had just hit on it. Tua wasn't truly pressured. He was right in the second half. Tua was kept pretty clean. Nobody was in his backfield. He was able to work, and the receivers were able to get open. I need to see Tua work in a situation that's not so cleanly, where there are people in his backfield, where he is getting fucking wrecked, where like he has to wait and extend plays because
And one time.
All
he
right,
has to learn
all
how
right.
to
So
take his
we get it.
composure.
We
Yeah,
we
okay,
get it.
monkey, yeah, 10
Yeah, we get it.
minutes,
So
we get it.
counterpoint
Figure it
after
out.
the 10 minutes of hopium. Counterpoint, Josh Allen. Give me the Bills.
Yeah, exactly. Boom. That's it. 2 words.
I don't think that that's going to be just as easy as
That's great, but it is.
no, I don't think it's just going to be as easy as that.
All right.
If you're
So,
going to put
monkey,
the whole
Dolphins,
offense on
got
Josh Allen, then
Yeah, I mean, but look at the last
My
like 4 or
literal-
5
no, my
games
literal-
between these teams, and that's what it's come down to. Is it's Josh Allen
my
every
literal
time.
counter is going to be fucking Phillips and Long, dude. Like,
What
I'll be honest, the
what
only
did they do
thing that's
last
in
year?
favor of me wanting to pick Miami
you
for this
can't put
game.
the whole fucking game on one player against them. You're gonna have
But
to.
they
keep
did.
it
But they
going.
did it. But they've done it to you for like what 4 years now, doing just that. Like,
Same. Not gonna be the same, bro.
All
okay.
right. Well, all right. So all of us picking Buffalo except Monkey?
Yes, sounds about right.
100%, I guess. Thanks for the free win. Fuck.
Well, hold on. I'm actually going to pick Miami on this one because they're going to be at home.
Yeah, 'cause
Yes.
that's been something before.
The no Hard Rock Sun.
Oh, yeah. So like half the stadium full of Bills fans. Got it.
No Hard Rock Sun.
I can't wait until we're up like 14.
And then you
I got
choke.
Miami selected on this game. I'm
I mean,
still
don't
going
get
to
me
select
wrong,
them. It's
Monkey.
a
I will be cheering
home
for
game.
them
There's
like I do
a
every
higher chance
time.
No!
they're gonna win.
My expectation
No, you
is.
fucking make that pick and you stand behind it.
Oh
No.
no, I'd pick Buffalo.
All right, enough with the communist gobbledygook. Let's move on to the Raiders getting absolutely slaughtered by Baltimore.
Is that the next game?
Yes.
Okay.
Gonzo. Nothing to
easy.
say about this game.
And the next
Chuck.
2 games, all these games are so easy.
Okay, that's simple. That's simple.
Carolina's not a team.
Yeah, Carolina's not winning against the Chargers. We're all picking the Chargers.
Okay.
The Saints are not beating the Cowboys. We're all picking the Cowboys.
Cowboys, yep.
And also Tampa, I mean, unless someone wants to shock the world here real quick,
No, we're picking
is not
Detroit.
beating Detroit. Next game, Indianapolis against a team that doesn't have a quarterback.
Have a quarterback. Oh.
I'm picking Green Bay.
What?
What are these pick'ems, bro?
Dude, this is like one of the easiest weeks of all
This
time.
is the easiest week ever.
Yeah. All right, moving on. We got Lester the Molester versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Give me Jacksonville. The Cleveland's not fucking doing shit. They could have the greatest defense of all time. That's just, damn, they're bad. Damn, they're fucking bad.
So,
Now we got, I mean, unless, do any of you guys disagree with that?
I'm a little iffy, but I think I'll stick to the Jags.
Yeah, I mean, what the fuck? And another one.
Another one.
Against Sam Darnold. I mean, as much as I gassed up Sam Darnold, it's not happening. There's no fucking way. There ain't no fucking way.
Do the Patriots start 2-0?
Yes. That percentage on here, don't pay attention to these fucking percentages for any of these games because the spread's only 2 points. It's a 2
What do you
point
mean?
spread.
Most of them you picked is went by with a percentage.
No, that's I haven't even looked at the percentage on any of these picks.
Yeah, every single one of the ones you picked, they're all like high percentage.
Yeah, but those lines are all fucked up. Like I'm telling you, the Detroit and Tampa game.
Yeah, that
They're
feels
saying
closer than that.
they're saying
for
that's
sure.
70-20, but the spread on it is 4 points. Like it's not as drastic as these win probability percentage. I don't even know what that is or where they're getting that from at all.
I think that's just what the unanimous selection of the populace is how they
That's
judge
probably what it is. Look, I understand, same narrative going in as last week with New England, but Seattle gave me a bunch of red flags. They played Bo Nix. I can't read into that. Geno Smith's not that good. I think he's going to play like shit. And New England's going to win like they did last week. They're going to win 20-13 or something dumb like that.
So,
plus Kenneth Walker's hurt. I don't even know if he's going to play.
I'm not going to lie to you. After what I saw with Cincinnati, after what I saw with Seattle, I'm kind of feeling Brendan on this. Because Geno did not look all that fucking great.
No, they did not play well. They just were playing Bo Nix.
Yeah, they were. And, I feel like Jacoby Brissett is better than Bo Nix.
Yeah.
I don't know how hot of a take that is, So, man, dude,
It's a tough pick.
Nah, I think I'm going to ride with you on this one. I think I'm taking Patriots here.
Now, I'm not saying I'm going to be picking New England all year. You'll see in the upcoming weeks their schedule gets really hard, and I'm not picking them for a couple weeks after this, but they're going to start 2-4 probably. But this week, I mean, just based off the defense alone, they really only got Metcalf. Kenneth Walker's okay. He's a pretty good back, but he's not McCaffrey. I'm not too worried about him, even if he does play, because he hurt his fucking ankle.
Who you
I don't
got?
know.
Who you got, Charles? Patriots, Seattle, bro. I know it's a hard one.
Who were you asking?
No, the debate's over, bro.
Oh, bro, I've been saying Patriots all the way here.
Oh, okay.
I'm not down.
All right,
Yeah,
all right,
Pats.
Steve, you're going Pats.
You have to ask that question.
All right.
Don't worry, it won't be a curse game because I know Kuz and PJ are going to overthink this and pick Seattle.
Jets, Titans.
Dude, as much as I hate the Jets, Tennessee looks so bad. They look so much worse than the Jets. I'll probably.
God.
Good bat.
The next game might be the hardest one to pick in the entire week by far.
That's a coin flip game.
That's
dude.
a barn burner, baby.
I mean, does anyone disagree with Jets winning that game first before we go on?
No.
It's rough. I'm so on the fence as well. I think I'd rather just flip a coin.
Oh, flip a coin. Let me know what. Let me know what happened.
I don't even have a coin to flip for that one.
I have one. Do you want me to flip a coin for you?
Flip a coin. Flip a coin.
All right. So heads is
I'll
Jets.
Heads is Jets. All right.
Heads. You're picking the Jets.
God damn it.
I mean, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with sacrificing that pick if they lose. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
It'll be funny. Man, this next game though, Giants at Washington. Fuck.
I think I just feel safer going Washington on that one.
Yeah,
I'm gonna pick the Commies, I guess.
I guess. I mean, there's no wrong pick here. I'm never gonna pick the Giants this year. That's my strategy with them. I'm not.
We're in our
it.
winless conversation.
Yeah. Well, they were in mine, but I don't know, man. Just give me the home team for whatever. I don't care. Washington. What about you, Monkey?
Jesus.
I'm gonna go mute for a second because I hear crying.
Man, This is gonna be like such a. You know what? No, I'm picking Washington. Their quarterback's better.
Yeah, that's how bad Daniel Jones is. We're gonna pick a guy
exactly
who
how I picked Washington. I'm like, I think Daniel Jones is
I
worse.
can't unless they play a team that's like playing like a third string quarterback and the whole defense is injured. Like, there's no way I'm picking the Giants in the game this year. Can't do it.
Rams, Cardinals. This is
Uh,
also kind of a tough game.
Sneaky good game here. This is a tough pick for the opposite reasons. I like both these teams. And man, like as much as I think like the Rams should bounce back here after a tough loss, close loss to a really good team, you got no Puka Nakua. They got a bunch of
They
offensive
do
line
have a bunch of
injuries.
injuries. Yeah.
Like it's this is a tough fucking game. I'm gonna go with Arizona for those reasons. Unfortunately, one of these teams has to start 0-2. Just kind of how it
I was about to say
goes.
neither of these two teams feel like it'd be an 0-2 team.
Yeah, but that's how it goes sometimes. I think I think whatever team loses will still bounce back from this.
Yeah.
But especially being home too, I think that gives them a bit of an edge. I still believe in home field advantage to an extent. Yeah, those injuries are tough.
Oh my god.
They were pressuring the shit out of
next game.
What do you think, Monkey?
I don't see Matt Stafford going 0-2.
Yeah, that's why I'm on the fence about it. I don't feel good either way.
Yeah, I'm always a Stafford fan at the end of the day, so I don't know. It's
Me
tough.
too, and it wasn't my pick of the Cardinals wasn't an anti-Stafford thing. It was just injuries, and that's pretty much what I was going off of.
But Cooper Cup.
Yeah, exactly. But it was more so the offensive line. Like towards the end of that game, man, he was getting the shit kicked out of him.
Yeah.
Should look like week 10 already on the injury list.
Oh, fuck this next game.
Oh, fuck this game. Why is this in the afternoon? Flex this game. Why is this at 4:30? What the fuck are we doing?
America
I'm
needs
taking
to watch
Pittsburgh
this.
on that one.
Yeah, I can't. They still have a defense in Pittsburgh. They're gonna put Bo Nix through hell.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going Pittsburgh.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I didn't like Bo Nix.
Yeah, now Denver's gonna fucking win on some bullshit because Justin Fields sucks too. Damn. Whatever. Sunday night. This game should have been so good. I'm so pissed.
They should have been, yeah.
It should have been so good. Shame. Real shame. What's about to happen to the Bengals?
Hey, these next 3 picks are pretty fucking easy, boys.
Dude, this is just one of those weeks, man. It happens a couple weeks a year where it's just like ain't no way.
I actually got to take off, so I'll catch y'all later. Just so you can jot them down, Monkey. What are we on?
All right,
okay, yeah. KC, Houston, Philly.
Yeah, that's pretty much everyone here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but later.
Later, bro.
It's interesting. The tiebreaker this week is how many combined total points for the Atlanta versus Philadelphia.
Bro, I'm just gonna put 45. Done. I don't know if that's a good number or not. Feels like NFL number of points.
No, I think it might be a little high. I'm gonna go 55. 55.
I like this. Good ticket. So, by the way, the hold on, let me get to week 1. Yeah, there we go. The pick'ems for week 1.
Everyone did pretty good.
Me and Keith tied for first place at 12-4. And then Brendan, Charles, and PJ tied at 11-5. And then Brandon and Kuz went 10-6. So
Dude, everyone had a good week, man. That was pretty solid, especially for week one, man. That's a tough week to predict. We all did pretty well there. What really fucked me ultimately is I picked the Jets. That's pretty much what fucked me.
yeah, it's going to screw you every time.
Besides this week, I think we're right about this week, but I'm fine with it. If they fuck me again, I'm fine. If me picking the Jets every week means they will lose a shit ton of games, I will gladly make that sacrifice. Cool with it. That's fine.
I think that was the last game. All right.
Well, I got to log off too. I got a flight in the morning. I got to get some sleep.
All right, bro.
All right. Peace out.
Later.
Peace out.
Peace. All right, so I think the last bit of this is so we only
You want to do a little quick start, sit, and sleep?
Yep.
I actually did research for my first week here. Now that I know what the fuck fantasy football is, that was a rough first year. Really, just not. I'm like, oh, cool, yeah, you guys are doing the thing. Okay, now I'm doing the thing. So, here's what I got so far. This week starting, I got Jalen Hurts.
Ooh.
Start him up. He played well. He did good, pretty good in Brazil. He went 20 for 34. Got a couple touchdowns in there. Playing on that soccer grass of death. He is playing Atlanta this week. So we are only going up from here. That was practice run week 1. I think week 2 he's on his way up. And he still did. He put a good amount of points. So I think it's a good position there. On a tie with him, if you're not thinking quarterback, you're thinking your quarterback, got Breece Hall. I know we discussed no Jets players. I get it.
Right.
I get it. But he had a mixed game against the 49ers, and he still put up a good amount of points. So there's another option there if you want to do the QB play. However, I'm sitting Justin Jefferson. He had 4 catches, 59 yards, and a touchdown. Believe that they are going against the 49ers this week. And those stats, if you take away the touchdown, not great. So this week it's not looking good for Minnesota. So sit him out this week. I'm sure he'll be right back at it the week after. And then for my sleeper, I got Ladd McConkey from the Chargers. Pretty decent week 1. Low-key rookie, 5 for 7, 39 yards and a touchdown. They're playing the Carolina Panthers this week. And boy, oh boy, do we all have fun when we play them. So good time to get some points from him.
I like that lineup. That Justin Jefferson spicy. I say you're starting Trevor Lawrence this week. The theory that I'm going with is the Jaguars are facing a struggling defense in week 2. They should allow at least Lawrence to continue a strong playing form. I'm expecting him to take advantage of a pretty exploitable secondary. The Ravens were pretty weak against the Chiefs last week on that side of the ball. They allowed 271 passing yards, and that was with constant pressure at the quarterback all night. Chris Jones was in Lamar Jackson's face most of the night. I think he even got a strip sack. Last week, Trevor Lawrence was able to put the Dolphins secondary on their back foot for most of the first half. The 161 yards passing that Trevor Lawrence got is really kind of it's a stat you shouldn't read so hard into, because most of that really did come in the first half before the Dolphins figured out how to play football. So they're going up against a Ravens secondary that they're more used to letting Lamar Jackson outscore the opponent rather than actually stopping them. So that goes good for Trevor Lawrence's fantasy production. Um, excuse me, not the Ravens, the Chiefs. Um, given the matchup with the Chiefs, the Jaguars are probably going to need to rely heavily on Lawrence keeping pace. Like, I do expect the Jags to go down early in the game. I do expect a shootout because that's the way the Chiefs like to play. Um,
I'm gonna just derail your train, unfortunately.
go ahead.
Okay. The Jaguars are playing the Browns this week.
Oh, they really are.
Yeah. I'm
Oh,
gonna throw a little wrench
oh
in
wait, wait,
Trevor
wait, wait.
Lawrence's.
Yeah, you're right. I'm reading my fucking my pre. Yeah, they are doing the Browns.
Now
Although
he
that even then that still applies. That the Browns haven't looked all that great on the
I mean,
fucking
I would say because of that actually might help your case because against
the
the Browns,
Browns.
I know
No,
they're
the Browns haven't looked. That's what I wrote this summary on. I guess I was reading the Chiefs in another fucking game. But yeah, it's the
he had a
Browns.
rough week one. I guess he'll definitely go up. He's on the up and up.
The Browns' secondary honestly wasn't allowing shit either. So or wasn't stopping shit on the passing game either. I mean, they let Dak fucking look like Joe Namath. So um, nah, I'm still okay with Lawrence here. Uh, on the other side, I have to sit Najee. I don't like. I know that Najee last week looked impressive, but Najee's week two stats are terrible. When you go into history with Najee in fantasy football and you go into his last 5 years, Najee's week two is trash. Always. Like it I don't care what team he plays, I don't care what situation he is in, for whatever fuck reason in the world, Najee is cursed on week two. So just I don't even have a game analytic on this. I'm going based on historical fact. All right. I'm somewhat of a historian.
Get his ass out of here.
Najee is not the play on week two. He's a perpetual sit his ass on week two. He ain't gonna do shit. I don't care who his fucking matchup is. Matter of fact, let me let me see if I could actually base that in reality. Just real quick, who the fuck are the Steelers
Sleeper.
playing this week?
Let's see his.
Just yeah,
So
they're playing
Denver.
they're playing Denver.
Yeah.
Fucking sit him. Fucking sit him. That's a perfect game for him to go off. Fucking sit him. I don't. Week two trash. Anyway, so the sleeper's not really a sleeper. It's a sleeper based off propaganda.
Oh boy.
Okay. Tua versus the Bills. No, but I'm serious. Tua versus the Bills.
God.
Tua is usually going to be a QB6. I think Tua is going to have his best week this week. I think he's facing the worst secondary he's going to face this week.
Wow, you're pretty adamant.
This season. I absolutely cannot stand the Buffalo secondary. What I saw with Arizona, I can't stand. And they were letting Kyler Murray dot them. I cannot wait to see this secondary. So I'm fucking perfectly fine with this. The Bills are the worst they've been in 5 fucking years. The secondary is absolutely abysmal. There's way too many options for Tua. Like the mismatches are going to be insane. This guy went 300 yards on a much stronger defense last week in Jacksonville. I understand this is like again, it doesn't matter which running back they go with. The running back, because of the absence of Matt Milano, is going to eat, and it's going to be on the flat. It's going to be on the pass route. These are going to be screens. These are going to be curl routes. Um, I'm telling you, like, you can hate me later, but a lot of people I've noticed because I've been in these drafts have Tua sitting on a bench. All right, this is the week to start him. I feel like he is going to go the fuck off on this Bills secondary. So I know that's not much of a sleeper because usually Tua is a really good option, but not according to a lot of you fucks on fantasy football. So I'm telling you now, do it.
So, for any UFA listeners listening during hour 3 of this program, that was actually our "Go Home You're Drunk" segment. And
No, I never go home. You drunk.
What our fellow Dolphins fan here would just fail to inform you, and that where the propaganda really does become propaganda, is that this is a division game against the Bills, and all statistics and logic and expectations are to be immediately thrown out the window. Because it's going to be an ugly division game where you're watching it, you might be drinking a beer and you have the urgency to throw something at the TV because everything in your mind, body, and soul says, wow, the Dolphins should be winning this game. And just in full Dolphins Bills fashion, the shooting of ourselves in the foot is just going to classically happen. And you know who's going to make us pay for that?
Who's he going to
make us pay for that? It ain't Tua. I mean, Tua will play his role in his
Who's he going to throw a pick to? DeMar Hamlin?
Josh Allen will throw to himself if he has to, but he will fucking win this game. His stats will be phenomenal, and then you're going to be sitting there in your league with Tua maybe somewhere in the range of like 12.
Dude, he's getting points. He's getting like 20 points.
He's 12, 13 points, and you're going to be like, wow, why did I think he was going to throw 3 touchdowns when he went maybe 2 for 1 and like 180 yards because we couldn't somehow throw the ball against the Bills because we forgot how to play football. That's how it goes.
He's going over 3. You're crazy.
He's going to forget how to play football, everyone. Bench him.
Name me the best cornerback on the Bills.
Fuck if it's a monkey. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I don't even know him. Don't worry.
Lineman is going to pick him off. He's going to get picked off by an O lineman this game. That's what's going to happen. It's not even. We're not even going to know this guy's name.
I don't know him now either, dude. Don't worry.
Could be a big man touchdown on the Bills side. All the things that could potentially happen here. But
if the Bills hope, if the Bills' hope is to do what they did with Arizona and let Kyler Murray dot them up and then just let Josh Allen fucking outscore them, I pray that that's the case. Especially if I'm a Tua fucking owner.
Careful what you wish for, monkey.
No, I'm speaking strictly in terms of fantasy football. If I'm talking like Dolphin fan, I want a fucking annihilation. But I'm talking strictly in terms of fantasy football. If I'm fucking a Tua owner, I know that the Bills are gonna have to fucking run up a score to keep up because their defense allowed Kyler fucking Murray on week 1 to dot them with like who this receiving core and that quarterback is going to fucking annihilate. Like and you want that shootout. If you're a fantasy owner, you want that shootout because that means it doesn't matter if Josh Allen's the other quarterback. Tua is gonna have like 20 fucking points if he prays to be in the game. The one thing you may not want if you're a fantasy owner, and I do want, is to route the Bills early, because then it becomes a running game after that. We just saw the clock and win the game after that. But this defense sucks, dude. That the
I love we get this on
allowance,
Thursday. I
the
love that it just goes
allowance
quick.
of Kyler fucking Murray to dot them with the receiving core that he had, that was not with Marvin Harrison, by the way.
Find out soon.
What we can do to them with our receiving core, I don't even give a fuck if you think Tua is a good quarterback, but just with our receiving core and that secondary, that's it's insane.
Strange things happens at the night in Hard Rock Stadium.
No, I don't doubt that. There's always the potential, but the probability of that is really low this time. I'm not high up on the Bills, and it's not because of their offense. I still think Josh Allen's that dude. It's the defense is literally the worst it's ever been. Like they are missing that. You were here for the off season, right? When we went over the Bills.
Yeah, I think at that point I still was popping in and out.
Okay.
Yeah, they lost a bunch of pieces.
Did you hear the departures list? It's so long, and it's basically their defense. Like all of that is gone. And now their receiving core is too. So like, there's. Anyway.
All right, Tua's a sleeper. Good luck, guys.
Go home. You're drunk.
Oh damn! Forgot about
that. Yeah, because that was not go home. You're drunk.
That was not okay.
Do you have one? No.
I did not think of one yet, but
okay.
I mean, go home. You're drunk. You know what I got for you? Actually, just off the top of my head, right here.
Okay.
What time is the? There's a very special game here this week that we all had a trouble picking out, and for very good reasons. Let's see. This is at This is okay. Whatever time. Oh, 1 p.m. Okay, a 1 p.m. game. So not many of us will have the grace of seeing this spectacular shootout that we're gonna see next week. On week 2, we have the Giants versus the Washington Commies.
Oh man,
2 of the highest rated teams in the NFL, the most excited. We get to see Jaden Daniels versus Daniel Jones. Which Dan will dick us harder? Well, we don't know, because both teams are going to score over fucking 40 points. It's going to be a fucking crazy shootout. Daniel Jones is going to remember how to play football. Jaden Daniels is going to come up like the top. Is he a rookie? He's a rookie, right? Yeah, he's the top rookie of this class. And they're going to put the NFL on notice as the 2 most mediocre teams clash in a battle of the Titans.
Whoa.
For high-end football.
Whoa.
Best game of the week. We're gonna actually, we're gonna be picking
Did
that.
You say 40 points?
Yeah, 40 points each.
Each. You must not think highly of these defenses, I'm guessing. Holy shit, these 40 fucking points.
There's gonna be a fucking shootout, bro. 2 of the best QBs in the league.
A quarterback that can't fucking quarterback, and a quarterback that can't exist. Like,
I'm telling you, both of them are just gonna.
You have Tommy DeVito coming in the game.
You never know, man. He might walk in there he's fourth quarter and save it. Like it's gonna be last second heroics. It's gonna be a good game, man. It's gonna be game of the week. We're gonna be talking about it. We're gonna be like, wow, I can't believe we all missed that 1 p.m. like showdown between those.
I don't know how I'm gonna top that, but I'm gonna try. I had to travel deep into the corners of Cincinnati to find that the odds of the Bengals beating the Chiefs are about as good as a scratch-off ticket's odds of winning. So I picked up a couple of 40s, chugged them son of a bitches, and told that weirdo gas station clerk that we ride with Burrow. We're riding at dawn with Burrow. 300 plus yards, no sacks, 3 touchdowns, and I've got the Bengals winning by 14.
God damn! You know the craziest part you said there was no sacks. That's out of all. Holy shit! I mean, Joe Burrow, he's not going to be bleeding by week 3.
I wanted to make sure. I wanted to make good goddamn sure to include no sacks. Because that was important.
You know, I might have said that 2 teams are going to score over 40 points each with one of the worst offenses ever imaginable, but man, Joe Burrow not pissing blood by week 3 is mighty brave.
Against Chris Jones.
Oh man, poor guy.
That Chiefs offense.
And they get up by 14 too, man.
No, dude. If that happens, if I hit that, I swear to God. If I had all hit that, if I hit the no sacks part of that, I'm gonna literally piss myself.
He's gonna put that as one of your legs on your parlay.
No sacks. I wonder if you can bet that.
Probably not, but that'd be very new. Like Joe Burrow ain't gonna get hit this week. Oh, okay, bud.
Not that Cincinnati offensive line. No, they're gonna become like all-stars in an instant. You know, it would be really even funnier. He gets sacked on the first play.
Oh, that at least that first drive for sure.
Chris Jones just shoots up the gut and says, "No, fuck you," and buries him.
And that's how we start the game. Joe Burrow down.
And then he throws a pick the next one. So instead of a wide open T. Higgins, because Jamar Chase needs catches.
Oh my god, brother, that was stressful this week. I don't know what to like. Oh man, just pay the man. He didn't do that great, but he didn't do that bad. But pay the man.
You know why I didn't think it was stressful? So football has become such a personable thing. Like the locker rooms have become much more like everybody's into everybody else's lives. Everybody's like super connected. Everybody's like brother and buddy and shit. It's not like before where it's like, yeah, it's my teammate. I'll still take a bullet for him, and we definitely ride together on Sundays and Mondays, but like it's not what this is, dude. It's not. We're gonna group up and fight the cops and shit for you, buddy.
Yeah.
So, fuck, I lost my train of thought there for a second. Hey, what were we on about?
This is too late at night, man. We're 3 hours and 13. We're talking about the Bengals and
oh yeah. So
you didn't think he was gonna hold out because he's fucking with his homies if he holds out.
Yeah. So I don't think that honestly, with the way they're interconnected now, and especially like Burrow and Chase in particular, because most locker rooms come with that standard where they're like buddy and they're interpersonal and they're all up in each other's lives. But Burrow and Chase came from the same school, you know, so it's like that times 4. So when we're talking about, oh, do I think that Chase is going to play this week? I didn't really think that he was going to hold out because, like, that's such a thing to explain to your buddy, you know? And I think, like, again, there's millions of dollars. I know that a bunch of people are going to say there's millions of dollars, bro, like money over everything. I don't think in those two in particular that's a higher priority than, hey, you're fucking me over, dude. Like, so with those two, I don't think that Chase was going to do that to Burrow.
Good theory. Good take.
Anyway, yeah. So, dude, yeah, 3:15. I'm tired.
Football season's back, baby. 3-hour UFAs. Get ready for more on Thursday, and then on Friday, and then I think on Sunday. Like, you get all of it. Oh, UFA all the time, motherfucker.
Yes. We get live stream reacts now. I don't know how to tell the wrestling. I have to tell the wrestling podcast that they're having that on Saturday. I haven't informed them yet, but
hey guys, the podcast tomorrow. It's not tomorrow. Fuck off. You're getting moved to Saturday.
Yeah. But not very often am I going to prioritize like Thursday night, because I've seen the Thursday night schedule. So there's not so many times. Definitely this is one of those times. I'm not even going to be here.
Oh, that's true. I'm waiting for an away game, man. I'm like, oh, that's it. That's the away game where barbecue time.
Yes. But we have the big barbecue. Yeah. All right, bro. So, yeah, 3:15. We had a hell of a fucking opening night for week 1. Hopefully, I don't get arrested tomorrow on the way to the stadium.
Just don't go 20 over near the stadium, apparently, even though we all always drive. And this is what people outside of South Florida need to know. We drive fast, we drive aggressive, and 20 over is not like, it's not real. That's like the standard.
What I want to know is, how do you get to 100 miles an hour a block away from the stadium?
Oh, no. See, that was fake news. He got pulled over for 60.
60 yeah, that way makes better sense, because
60 and a 40 is not real. Like, that's not a thing.
He doesn't have enough fucking road for 100 miles an hour.
Like, if you really think about it, the difference between 60 miles an hour and 40 miles an hour, that's one Tyreek Hill. One Tyreek Hill.
And honestly, it is kind of funny that he got pulled over for speeding. Like,
yeah, really, out of all the classic things, right?
Like that was funny as fuck. Like, if you think about it. Yeah.
Let's pull him out right outside the stadium for going 20 over, speeding, Tyreek Hill. And they recognized him too, which is the craziest part. Like, right off the bat, it was like, oh, it's Tyreek. Let's see how we can fuck with him.
That's what was like the support for the Tyreek Hill argument. There was cops there that could have de-escalated that and been like, because obviously the fucking guy that's the dick does not know who he's being a dick to.
Like, no, I think he did.
I don't think that man knows a fucking thing. I think that man barely knows the English.
It's a Tyreek. ¿Quién carajo Tyreek?
No, I don't think that guy is. No, I don't even think that guy knows. I think the people around him went, "Oh, dude." That's fucking Tyreek. Like, and someone's got to fucking pull the guy to the side. Which
but it can't even happen. Then his teammate shows up. Hey, what's going on here? Straight to jail.
And he definitely ain't gonna know who Calais Campbell is, bro. Like, there's no way. So I honestly think the other guys around him were just like, shit.
Oh shit, now we got 2 of them? Oh fuck. 3? They were fucking starting their fantasy roster like right there in fucking detainments. Like,
no, fucking for real, like the jailhouse football pickup game was gonna be so lit.
Fucking first round pick Tyreek Hill. Boom.
How the fuck? But
shit. Okay, I think that's a good note to end it on. That's the program. We went full circle, really. We kind of ended it where we started. So good week 1, man.
Yeah. All right, bro. Till next time.
Till next time. Have a good night, everyone. Peace.
Peace. Remember to like and subscribe and follow and share it and comment and all that other shit that people say at the end of live streams.